whatever. All this ever about you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, I disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. And no man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, of my shoulders. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need an old man. Don't need an old man. Back and I'm better. You had to go back where you came from, now you're bitter. Out of sight, out of mind for real. Yeah, I wouldn't wanna be you for real. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, of my shoulders. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need an old man. Don't need an old man. Down, do you know? I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need an old man. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need an old man.
Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. Who that hopping out the Beamer? It's a party when I see ya. Fell in love with my demeanor, and she love the way I treat her. We gon' pour it by the leader. Everybody watching now, I'm blowing off the meter. All these people talking Frank Sinatra through the speakers. If they got a problem, cause in time he got a feature.
All right, hello and welcome back to day 4, week 4 of the Vespertine Vantage Cup. Today we are watching Group 2. And so the teams that we'll have up today will be, first off is QT versus Alliance. Then we have MCOM versus Valkyrie. Let me just confirm which Valkyrie team actually. So there we go, Valkyrie Ragnarok. And last up we have Vespertine Vertigo versus Weekend Warriors. Now we have a couple of things to talk about. Start off with game 1 today. Fuzz, what was your take on this? We know that QT is currently 1-2, although they are a decent team. They're going to look to be picking up this win. So what do you think about that one?
Well, I think it makes for a really interesting game, because if QUT being 1-2, I mean, if they can take out Alliance in this in this game tonight, then they still have a chance to make it to semifinals. So it kind of adds a bit of incentive for QUT to pull it together and see if they can, pull out a victory over Alliance, which is something I would like to see. I like QUT a lot as a team, and I'd like to see them move forward in the competition.
Most definitely. Now, we are, as an org, reasonably close to Alliance, so at the same time, we don't want to see them get knocked out. But that being said, with the performance they've shown thus far, and it's not to say that it's been a bad one, but in the group, I definitely think there are some stronger teams, and I think QUT is one of them. So my assumption here is QUT is going to come in swinging tonight. They're going to be here to secure their place, or not secure their place, but to give themselves a chance. If they drop tonight, I think both teams are potentially out. I don't think either of them have a chance of getting through. But QUT potentially still puts themselves in the good books if they win that game. So definitely going to be an interesting one there. And we will have that game coming up very shortly in just a couple of minutes, actually. Going into the second game, like I mentioned, Valkyrie versus MCOM. Now, they're both 2-1. I don't think a loss for either of these teams means that they're completely out, but I do think it means it's a lot harder for them. So both teams are going to be looking for that win tonight to try and increase their chances of getting into the top two.
Yeah, absolutely. We have friends on MCOM, and we've seen Valkyrie perform really well. So I'm kind of rooting for both teams here in this kind of in this game tonight. I don't really want to see either of these guys lose, but one of them does have to win at the end of the day, and I'm just excited to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, most definitely. Of course, like you said, we have friends in MCOM, but Valkyrie have been a really amazing team throughout this tournament. They've been really interactive with us through social media in general. So we love to see both of those teams compete. But I think tonight they're both going to be giving it their all. Like I said, one of them wants to come out 3-1 tonight and try and increase their chances of getting the top two positions. Speaking of the top two positions in that group. Currently it's sitting at Weekend Warriors, which are 3-0, and then for tied second is MCOM and Valkyrie. So definitely, most definitely, they're going to want to look to win that game tonight, and it's going to be a very important one. And then moving into the final one, and this one hurts me just a little bit, but we do have to talk about it. So it's going to be Vespertine Vertigo versus Weekend Warriors. This one hurts me because, of course, I don't want to see my own team fail. I want to see them pull through. I want to see them show us what they're made of, because I know that they've been putting in the work behind the scenes. But I'm sure the same can be said for Weekend Warriors, and they're currently 3-0 sitting in first place. So I think Vespertine's already got it cut out pretty hard for themselves, but I think Weekend Warriors might look to end their chances tonight.
Absolutely. Now, last week we made some predictions, and we almost got silenced like when the games actually started, in terms of what we thought would happen over the course of those games. So I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not going to rule out Vespertine Vertigo just yet. They might pull out something extreme tonight versus Weekend Warriors, and that's something I would like to see. They are our own team, but Weekend Warriors have been extremely dominant over this split so far, and I'm just again, I feel like a broken record, but I'm really excited to see this game unfold tonight.
Most definitely. A couple of things to point out. Like, so we did go over kind of predictions or who we think were the favorites. Going into this, I imagine, although QT's gone 1-2, I think they are quite a formidable team. I imagine that they're the favorites for game one. Like I said, Alliance just hasn't shown up as well as the rest of the teams have at the moment. Going into game two, my prediction would be... See, this one's tough. Valkyrie's shown a decent game, but I do have to support MCOM just because of course, Jacko on the team, a very close friend of ours, actually part of the org himself. And then into game three, look, I want to support Vespertine, but I imagine Weekend Warriors are going to win this game. So I imagine the last game you said you wanted Vespertine to pull it through, but what are your predictions for the three games?
Well, as far as the three games go, I think, I'd like to see QUT pull through against Alliance, even though Alliance are our dear friends, but sorry, Alliance, I do want to see QUT pull it through. Second game, obviously, I have to back my boys at MCOM. Although I do think it would be a very, very hard battle for them tonight. And for the last game, like you said, Weekend Warriors, objectively, I feel like they may be the superior team this tournament, but like I said, we've had upsets before, and I would really like to see it. So Vespertine Vertigo, please pull something tonight, something beautiful.
All right, let's hold on to that hope, and we'll see how long it lasts once we get into game 3. With that being said, we'll jump to an intermission right now. We'll see you guys very shortly while we get set up for that first game. Yeah, we can't wait to see you guys in Champ Select.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're getting into Champ Select for the first game here. No pro draft, which is great to hear. So we'll be seeing the picks and bans as they happen, just as you all are. So this will be good getting into this here. One thing I'm going to note, I want to see, well, I wonder if we'll see a Zoe ban. I do believe Zoe from the side of Alliance does play the champion. It was banned in the last game we watched, and I'm imagining it's probably going to be banned this game.
Yeah, I don't know if the summoner name Zoe is any indication as to what champions this fella might play, but you know we'll just see. You know, maybe QUT wants to versus Zoe. They wanna know what the Alliance is made out of this game.
Yeah, so interesting ban so far. I'm also wondering if we'll see the dreaded Wukong.
Oh my god.
Like I said, it's been pick ban every game. These guys have been on stream, both of them, so that means it's been pick banned in their games as well.
Don't say it, Drez. You'll will it into existence.
I don't think I can will it into existence any more than it already has been. But
I mean, no, you are right. You are right.
it's been in every game. I can't do any more than that. I don't know what to say. So far, some pretty solid bans. You've got the Jinx Lulu ban coming out from the side of Alliance. Perfectly understandable. QT going off a little bit more of an interesting set of bans with the Lilia. I can kind of understand the Lilia, actually. She's quite strong with the current kind of tankiness of most champions. And Twitch as well, quite a strong ADC. Seraphine's a little bit of an odd one to me, but maybe there's someone in Alliance that has it as a pocket pick that we don't know about. And that's the Kog'Maw.
Kog'Maw. Oh no, this is going to be a rough one for Alliance. I did not expect this champion to actually get through the banning stage. I almost commented on it before, but then I thought, there's no way. But there, in fact, was a way. We see Kog'Maw going over to QUT here. That's a very, very scary pick right off the bat.
And the Zoe comes through. Okay, what an interesting draft so far, and I can only imagine this will be a very interesting game going into it. Will we see the trinity of champions would be the Wukong now, I think, to get picked here.
The Holy Trinity, we'll see. The Wukong jungle.
I would imagine so. Look, he can be flex picked
three
top.
times. Three times, it'll probably happen.
Let's go. Wukong, Wukong. Where is it? And a Jarvan. Okay, so no Wukong out from that side. Look, he can still. There we go.
Oh,
okay.
Hey, listen. Well, you know, I don't even know if I can blame you for mentioning it like over and over. Like, I just think it was going to happen. It was inevitable. Oh.
It was inevitable. What's interesting to see, and I mean, look, he is obviously a stronger jungler than he is a top laner, but he is known as a flex pick. He is yet to be played top lane, though. He's always been in the jungle, so I can only imagine that's where they plan to take this pick here. We haven't seen, I don't think, the Wukong versus Jarvan matchup, so that'll be a slightly interesting one. And Yone coming out from the side of QUT, which... very interesting, risky champion. They already have two strong champions on Kog'Maw and Wukong. I don't know if the Yone pick was necessary, but maybe they're confident and they want to style a little bit.
Looks like QUT kind of picking the holy trinity of meta champions at the moment, moving into the draft against Alliance. Like, you know, I see Zoe, I see Jarvan. I think, you know, those are champions that are strong, I guess, but then I look at QUT's draft and I think, oh my god, I would dodge this immediately if I saw it in solo queue. I don't know, it's kind of my census on the teams so far.
Most definitely. Now look, in solo queue, Yone can be queen flip, but I think in team play, and I'm sure they've practiced it, it's quite a strong champion. So definitely three really strong champions. What I can confidently say, if anyone has seen the patch notes coming out for next patch, is we will see a Kog'Maw ban, we will see a Wukong ban, and amongst quite a few others, but two of the primary champs so far. Lucian ban coming out, I'm not too surprised by that. He's also quite a strong champion, and he, in a sense, can probably punish that Kog'Maw early game.
The Yuumi ban,
yeah,
preventing the Yuumi Kog'Maw bot lane. It's you know what? I'd back that ban. I think it's you know, maybe it might actually save them the game.
No, look, I have been forfunning just a little bit of Yuumi Kog'Maw in the bot lane myself, actually, just to mess around a little bit. It's a disgusting combo. Like, yes, there's weaknesses to Kog'Maw, yes, there's weaknesses to Yuumi, but honestly, it's just not fun to deal with, and yeah, there we go as well. That's actually quite a decent ban.
Would you call it for fun if no one else in the game is having fun?
Well, I'm having fun, and that's all that matters.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But we'll see what the next couple of picks are here. going into the picks, I'm not surprised by the Lucian. I'm not surprised by the Tristana. Two very strong champions overall in the bot lane. And the Kog'Maw's going to want to get through lane reasonably unscathed. Look, Kog'Maw can fall behind and still be really useful in this kind of setup.
Zeri! Not a champion I expected to see.
No, not into Kog either. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm very excited to see that matchup, actually.
I think Zeri may have the range on Kog'Maw early game, but actually, no, that's a complete
No,
waste. W gives
definitely
him
not.
range.
Yeah, he's got his Q for overall, like, just poke as well, and when he gets the ulti, he's actually got quite a lot of range on him. The Renata would be a very interesting pick coming out into that, though. And there we go, Renata being picked up there. So Kog'Maw without, I mean, I guess in a sense, she's got a revive, or a, I'm not too sure what they call it, to be completely honest with you. But not an enchanter like you would expect to see. The Lulu banned out, the Yuumi banned out, the Nami picked. I imagine that's why they decided to go for something a little bit different there with the Renata, unless that was their plan all along.
Yeah, you know, like, Renata as a champion, I think is kind of, well, I don't want to say slept on. I think she has a very high pick rate, but I don't think people give her enough credit for as to how good she actually is as a champion. Her revive mechanic is really, really something, and it's going to pull through for Kog'Maw this game, and she synergizes so well with the Yone and Gwen as well. Like, you know, this is going to be a really, really scary team. Jax is actually a good pick here, I would say.
Yeah, I can see the Jax being quite useful. He can block, I mean, majority of the damage for the most part with his E. But overall, I think on the side of QUT, this draft is I'd say quite disgusting, to be honest. I mean, like I said, if we look at the nerfs coming in next patch, Gwen, Wukong, Kog'Maw, they're all on it. Yone and Renata, I don't think are being touched. I could be wrong in saying that. But they're all very strong champions this patch. They've all been through the ban phase, and I think QUT has really won this draft. So it's going to be interesting to see how on earth Alliance is going to deal with this one.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like, I'm kind of looking at QUT's draft and I'm thinking, what don't they have here? They have, like, engage, they have, like, front to back capabilities, they have damage, true damage with the Gwen, they have damage out the wazoo, and it's going to be really, really hard for Alliance to deal with, I would predict anyway. As, like, assuming Jax doesn't get fed, you know, Gwen is a counter matchup to Jax, believe it or not. So it's looking rough. That's the only thing I can say so far.
Definitely. Like we said, this is. I honestly think, and I could be wrong in saying this. I haven't done the full depth analysis on it, but I think Alliance is unfortunately out of this. I don't think if they pick up the next 2 games that they're even in the tournament anymore. QUT is, however, fighting for their life. If things go well, there's a potential that they still get through, or they might end up into a tiebreaker. I think is the most likely outcome if they can win their next 2 games. So Alliance kind of has that freedom to pick up some goofier stuff and see how it works. The Zeri in the bot lane, in my opinion, probably not really going to work for them. But, you know, like I said, they have a little bit of fun in these games if they want to. And they managed to get the Zoe pick, which I think is probably their only decent pick based off kind of what they play and stuff like that. But I'm sure we'll see it going into the game, which we will be doing shortly. Any closing notes before we jump into this intermission here, Fuzz?
Well, I think that the only real threat I would say Alliance would be the Jarvan hard engage. You know, like they don't really have a lot to get around the fact that Jarvan could just EQ onto the backline, and you know they don't really have any CC to stop him. In that sense, however, with everyone being so tanky nowadays, I don't think it would make a difference.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's transition into our intermission, and we'll be into the game very shortly with you guys. See you guys soon.
See you soon.
Always at the same place, the same people every day. I will never forget this black old Corvette standing in front of my way. We were both in high school. I thought I was a fool. Oh, when I was falling for you, you keep drawing me in, and I know it's a sin. But even so, yeah, I need you. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. Feels so bittersweet knowing I can leave. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat on my heart and peace. 'Cause you taste like candy. so bittersweet, knowing I can leave. You taste like candy, eat you are the Sunday. I can feel the beat on my heart and beats. 'Cause you taste like candy. Tasty. You on a Sunday, feel so bittersweet, knowing I can live. You taste like candy, eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat of my heart increase. 'Cause it tastes like candy.
I know that you're afraid, it feels like every day things are slipping away, you're slipping away, and you think back.
Okay, and we start off with game 1 here. I wonder if teams are going to go for the 5-point again. It seemed to be the only thing we saw last week, and it does look to be the case again as well. So, very interesting change of pace from the first couple of days we had where teams were going really aggressive, invades were happening left, right, and center. It seems like maybe teams are worrying about their position just a little bit more now and not going for those riskier plays.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say neither team really has a great level 1 that they could like synergize in like a 5v5 situation. I think like, you know, their strengths mainly come from like the laning, I would say. You know, Nami obviously it shouldn't even start bubble, so I don't think there was any intention of looking for early fights or early kills before the minion waves came in.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, obviously, champs play a huge factor into that as well, and that'd be the reason they wanted to play so defensive. But I do wonder if teams are on that edge kind of thing where it comes to you know, whether or not it's worth taking those 50-50 plays, or if they'd rather play that a little bit safer and rely on their skill, which I think is definitely the mind space that QUT would be in right now, given that they need to win this game here.
Right, we see the junglers starting on opposite sides of the map. Maybe we see a little bit of vertical jungling if, you know, they can find out each other's locations, but other than that, it looks like both junglers may be looking for the full clear.
Yep, so potentially they might have an idea just based on the Gwen kind of running up there. Wukong looks like he might just W over the wall. And there we go. So Wing over the wall into the enemy red buff. So he's going to grab that one there. Be interesting to see if Jarvan will match that.
Vertical jungling, you know, I don't see it as much as I used to. I remember there was like, what was it, like season 7, where like it was basically the only thing you ever saw in pro play.
Yeah, there was definitely season 8. It was 7 or 8, I believe. And
yeah,
it was just, that's all there was. It was, you know, you owned the top side or the bottom side of the map. You never owned your side of the map, that's for sure.
Yeah.
See Kog'Maw coming in with the oppression already, and that's what I'm kind of expecting to see from this lane. Kog'Maw, in some instances, does want to wait a couple of levels and get his first like components before he can really start being a menace. I think against Zeri, though, he's definitely got the advantage, and I think that lane's going to be an absolute stomp from the side of QT. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I'm not a bot lane player personally, so I'm not quite sure how that matchup goes. But I do know one thing that, you know, I've seen Kog'Maws in my games, and like I'll check their win rates, and they're like 90% over like 10 games, and there's something about that champion right now that seems a little bit strong. I do, however, know about the top lane matchup, and I do like Gwen as a champion into Jax. We see the failed gank coming out there from Alliance, Jarvan blowing flash in the process.
Yeah, and Zalakis, unfortunately, like you said, blowing his flash there, which means he's going to be set behind a little bit. Zookeeper on the Wukong, we know how strong that champion is. He's actually in the top side right now. I wonder if he looks to contest his Scuttle, knowing Jarvan doesn't have flash. And on the map, it looks like that is the case. Priority in the mid lane as well for the side of QT. And Jarvan's going to have to back out and give that one over. So yeah, mostly playing out the way they expected, I imagine, for the side of QT. Bot lane's kind of got that oppression. Top lane, it seems relatively even other than the fact that there was a failed gank. But Wukong would definitely be happy with the position right now.
Absolutely. See the bubble landing onto Renata there. Lots of damage coming down onto Nami. Ignite was popped on her. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get the kill though. And Jarvan secures the bot crab. Looks like Jarvan may be looking for the gank here. Renata may have to blow flash. Oh, she can sidestep it. Oh, wow.
Wow, very well played.
Did that... Okay. I'm not sure if I'm registering this correctly, but did Renata take Jarvan out of his EQ?
She definitely pulled him away. I'm not too sure. No, so she did sidestep a little bit. She also pulled him out. Fight continuing on here.
Wukong just diving into the backline, blowing flash in the process. Looks like Kog'Maw picks up first blood onto Jarvan. Really, really huge for QUT. Kog'Maw going to do a lot with that gold moving forward.
Yep, most definitely. And I do apologize there. I didn't have my button set up, but I've got the replay set up from now forward. So if something like that does happen again, we can have a quick glance and see what happens.
The Yon putting out an absolutely fair amount of damage onto Zoe there with, you know, maximal counterplay included.
Yep, and so this is exactly kind of how I expected it. Like I said, the Kog'Maw is going to be extremely oppressive. I'm not sure about the Zeri matchup. I actually haven't seen that champion for quite a while. Mid lane, reasonably even. Yon is up in the CS, however. But yeah, look, a reasonably kind of, I'm imagining slightly stale game from the side of Alliance. They're probably going to be pushed back quite a bit by most champs on the side of QT. But nonetheless, some interesting matchups I haven't seen before, which I'm very excited to watch. You talked about the Gwen and Jack's top lane matchup. Not something that I've actually seen too much of myself. So it'd be very interesting to see how that one plays out. Yeah,
well, I think it's a really decent counter matchup. You know, Jack's his strength obviously coming from dealing damage without taking any, and you know, in the lane predominantly filled with like bruisers that want to hurt you with their auto attacks and you know, like auto attack reset abilities, stuff like Trundle, Q, Darius W, stuff like that. Jax does pretty well. However, Gwen is a little bit different, where absolutely she does a lot of damage with her auto attacks from her E, but majority of damage comes from her Qs and her ulti. And as you can see here, Jax is just kind of getting chopped up a bit by Gwen. She's just taking him out. She's actually going to pick up, looks like, the kill on Jax really, really easily, you know? There's not a lot Jax can do in the face of a champion that just, you know, can actually deal damage to him while he's using Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and definitely very well played by Kip Kangaroo as well. He got that level 6 and timed it perfectly when he went in. Level 6 advantage, of course, is going to make a big difference, because otherwise Jax would be quite a bit tankier, that the play may not have worked. So he has popped his Ignite now, he has popped his ulti, but he's picked up that kill. He's also 15 CS up, so definitely sitting in a good position for Gwen up there in the top lane. And we see a kill come out onto Wukong, very well played by Zoe.
I did not expect that much damage coming out from the Seeker's Arm Guard Zoe this early into the game. That was a lot.
Yeah, we do see the Ignite popped, and that's the whole reason for the kill there as well. Another trade happening in the mid lane.
See, Yon committing his ulti onto Zoe, but unfortunately, the sleep does land, and he just can't get the rest of his combo off.
Alright, well, he is definitely supposedly known for his Zoe, and I guess we can see why. Quite a calculated play. I imagine, you know, that's a play you wouldn't want to make. You wouldn't want to blow your Ignite if you weren't confident you could pick up that kill.
Wukong stealing his own blue buff off of Jarvan there. He's really, really lucky to get there in time. The boots was definitely the right purchase.
Yeah, I mean, boots straight away on any jungler really is quite an important one. You know, roam around the map a little bit more, clear camps faster, get some ganks off better. Definitely really smart purchase by him, and yeah, it came in useful already. Now we see him invading.
See Wukong trying to bully Jarvan out of his own jungle here. I don't think he's able to pick up the... Yeah, he does. Wow. With the extended range on his Q, he was able to pick up the kill onto Jarvan. It's like Yon just trading a little bit with Zoe. The sleep lands. Is he in trouble here? No, I don't think so.
Zoe out of mana. Yeah, there we go. And also, more than likely, her Q was on cooldown. I believe she used it not too long ago. So a little bit risky, but I'm sure he was aware that he couldn't die there. And this is, again, just the oppression we see. Potentially, maybe...
The bubble onto Kog'Maw. Big damage coming down from the Zeri. It looks like they're just kiting back, trying to get out of there with their lives. So we're looking at top lane now. But, yeah, it looks like bot lane, that looked like a very sticky situation for Kog'Maw then. But, you know, looks like QT was able to kite it back.
Yeah, so... Well, we saw, I mean, maybe a little bit of a greed for that tower plate. He was looking to grab the second plate there. It's still sitting at 4 plates, so he didn't pick that one up. But that's just kind of what Kog'Maw can do, right? He's got the damage, he's got the tankiness, he's got the range, he's got the attack speed. Really, there's nothing he doesn't have, minus mobility. But just in terms of oppression and kind of dominating that lane, especially with a Renata who can also be quite aggressive, they're definitely doing that very well. And I can only imagine that's going to become worse throughout the game for the side of Alliance, and they're going to struggle to deal with that one. We can see a huge CS gap in the mid lane. That could be concerning. Zoe's picked up that one kill, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to match this Yone if he just continues to farm like this.
Yeah, well, you know, Yone as a champion, I think he has a lot better time farming compared to Zoe, and you know, one kill being equal to roughly 15 CS, I would say that they're about even at the moment, even with her kill taken into consideration. Now I see ultimates being used in the mid lane, left, right, and center. Chirp taking a lot of damage here. Looks like he is in danger of going down to Zoe. Yeah, looks like he does. Wukong plus ultimate before. Looks like he picks up the kill onto Zoe as well. And maybe they're just trying to push out that mid wave and look to rotate to the bot side of the map here.
Alright, so I'm actually going to be completely honest with you, and I'm not sure how I missed this one, but the side of QUT, they did pick up a dragon. I couldn't tell you when. I genuinely didn't see it.
It was about like, you know, 6.5 minutes, I would like to say. I tried to find a way to work it in, but, you know, just too many things kept happening.
So, I was going to kind of just summarize everything up so far. We have kills somewhat spread throughout the side of QT, so 1 in the top lane, 2 in the jungle, 1 on the ADC. They are currently up about 2k gold and the dragon. But both kills for the side of Alliance sitting on the Zoe. Now, I personally, and I've stated this before on this broadcast, I don't think Zoe's a great champion. She can one-shot, she's very strong, the sleep is quite a very strong ability. And I'll pause here.
Yone taking a lot of damage here. He lands a knock-up onto Zoe. Does Wukong want to commit to it? No, he doesn't with the Jarvan there. Looks like Jarvan pushing both of them off that play. Wukong flash is used with the Jarvan after the Jarvan Cataclysm. And it looks like QT is pushed off the mid lane play, and Jarvan gets to roam bot lane.
Yep, so it looks like maybe
very scary stuff with the dragon
out.
coming up.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, currently bot lane's a little bit back and forth. Looks like maybe Alliance is somehow managing to kind of equalize it. I do still think that this Kog'Maw is going to be very scary, though. We see Rageblade very close to completion for Kog'Maw as well, so quite a strong spike for him. Or I'd imagine close to completion at this point in the game with the 82 CS. So yeah, back to my point on Zoe. I personally think she's not a great champion. She's, in my opinion, a little bit of a coin flip champion. You've got to land all those abilities perfectly. You've got to get the sleep off. You've got to have nothing blocking you to hit that Q. I don't like Zoe. So the 2 kills on the Zoe, if he can play it well, which I imagine, you know, being named Zoe, that's his plan. I just don't know if the kills sitting on the Zoe is where they want it to be right now whilst they're already behind.
So I would have to agree with you for the most part in terms of Zoe. You know, at least for before the durability patch, I think Zoe back then was a really, like, I'd like to say like a bit of a problem as a champion. Now we see Jarvan walking behind the Yone here. Looks like Yone may be able to get the full amount of damage off onto Zoe. Now it looks like Zoe gets out with the tiniest bit of HP, and the kill goes over to Jarvan here. Really, really unlucky for Chirp, but, you know, it's just the way that it goes sometimes. Now back to what I was saying about Zoe. If Zuki would like to give me a minute to talk here. Now, back before the durability patch, Zoe was, it felt like after she got a couple of items, she could literally miss all of her abilities and still kill you just because of her empowered auto attacks, which I felt was really unhealthy. But after the durability patch, there's a bit more of like a skill, I like to say like a skill ceiling to her, where you need to actually hit that bubble in order to make any substantial amount of damage happen, which I think puts her in a bit of a better place in terms of like balance as a champion. But I also think that it does make her weaker. So I don't know what you think about those points, but
yeah, I'd say, I mean, what I have a problem with isn't necessarily Zoe as a champion and her reliability as a whole, but in pro play, I just don't really like it. Like, you see it a lot at MSI, you see it a lot at Worlds, you see it get played a lot by the pros. Really strong champion. She can flip an entire team fight just by one-shotting a carry because she's that strong. I just don't like the unreliability, if you want to call it that. And like I said, I think having her being the one with the 2 kills, now Jarvan has picked up a kill, so bonus to him there. I think her being the one with the 2 kills for that team. Oh, very well played by the Zoe, hitting the bubble on the
big
Yone.
sleep. Massive damage coming down onto Chirp. He really needs to be more careful with those bubbles.
I think he's been hit by every single bubble we've seen so far, to be completely honest.
I don't think I've seen him dodge a bubble so far. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, so if that keeps happening, Zoe can be pretty reliable. I just think if you miss that bubble in a crucial team fight, you're kind of throwing away a lot of your advantage.
Now, Jazz, I'd like to see if I can test your observation skills here. There was a second dragon taken in this game. I'd
Yes.
like you to tell me when.
Okay, so the dragon was taken approximately a minute ago. We'll wait for this top lane fight, see if they let us talk.
Like Gwen getting a lot of damage down onto Jax, but he's just too tanky and he was able to walk it off.
Okay, so we did see Jarvan starting up the dragon while bot lane kind of had a little bit of prior. We saw the Cogmore completely demolish the enemy bot lane. Wukong come in, and then QT picked up that dragon. So now they're sitting at 2 dragons. It'd be nice to see what the soul is. Unfortunately, for some reason, our dragon spectate tool is kind of bugged. But I'm sure we'll get a glimpse of that once we see the dragon pit next.
Absolutely. Now, see, in terms of... oh, wow, okay, looks like Jarvan committing onto the Gwen here. Gwen getting a lot of damage down with the Jarvan dropping Ignite. Jarvan has to flash out, and looks like Zoe going in for the third party and picking up the kill onto Gwen. Really unfortunate for her. I think she may have been able to win the 2v1 if Zoe didn't show up.
Yeah, Gwen definitely one of those champions that can really just win a fight that she... Well, I mean, no other champion should.
It's like Wukong getting a bit of damage down onto Jax, seeing if he can pick up the solo kill on him here. Now, he doesn't have ultis, so he needs to be careful with Jax as he turn one-shot him, which he almost did. Big damage coming down in bot lane. Kog'Maw picking up a kill onto Zeri. Looks like Nami still has flash. She's probably able just to walk it off here, see if she can get out of Kog'Maw's range. Mid lane, we see trading with the Yone onto the Zoe. You know, they're just really trying hard to make it as hard as possible to follow what's happening in the game at the moment. They wanted to have fights in all 3 lanes. It was, wow, that was really fun.
Yeah, now a couple of things to note. I think first, on-screen bubble dodge by the Yone. So maybe he's slowly developing this matchup and getting a little bit more used to it, but he did manage to dodge that bubble, and he definitely got out with a lot more health than he would have otherwise. So if that continues to play out, and with the CS Vantage that he's grabbed at this point, which is 29 CS up now, I'd say he's really not that far behind the Zoe.
Yeah, absolutely. See, lots of ults get used down there. Jarvan ends up getting killed. Wukong ult coming down onto the Zoe. Zoe just does not have enough stats to get through all of Wukong's damage there. Like, it's two kills going over to QT.
Yeah, and that puts that Yone probably back even with the Zoe. This pick, this Wukong, I mean, we've spoken about it way too much, so I don't want to touch on it for too long. But it's just a powerhouse of a pick. And I'll stop.
Kog'Maw picking up an easy kill onto Zeri there. It's like, you know, Renata, all Renata needs to do is just land one little bit of CC and, you know, Kog'Maw, that's a kill for Kog'Maw.
Yeah, so he has picked up his Rage Blade, he's got his boots, which was his first purchase. This is kind of where he starts to shine. I don't think there's a chance in hell that Zeri can really compete. One thing I do want to point out, and this might be really stupid, but I haven't seen Zeri for a little while. Am I wrong in saying that she probably shouldn't have a Kraken? I mean, the team's not even that tanky to begin with, in my opinion. I don't know if Kraken's supposed to be her item.
You know, like, as far as itemization goes, I think since the durability patch, any type of true damage is like higher value at this point in time. I don't think Zeri gets too much out of building, you know, a Gale Force or something like that. I think maybe Immortal Shieldbow may have been the better pickup for her this game, but I can definitely see if you're going on the offensive, which you will have to be doing this game, then Kraken Slayer is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, with the durability patch, of course, it's quite a strong item. Nerf's coming in for that one next patch, if I remember correctly.
You see Yone committing his ulti onto 3 people. It looks like he doesn't land it. He has to use flash to get away from the Jarvan Cataclysm. We see a TP behind them from Gwen. Wukong coming in, landing the ult down onto Zeri. Looks like he's going to look for the Nami now. Looks like all the ults are being used on the side of QUT. Kills being picked up left, right, and center. Kog'Maw picks up a kill onto the Jarvan, and they secure the 3rd dragon of the game. All in the span of 20 minutes. Sorry, 20 seconds. Good job, guys.
Awesome. So very well played. Looks like it. I wonder if they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna pick up this kill on the Zoe. So what I want to do, Yep, I'm going to switch over and we're going to look at that replay there because there were, I believe, 3 fights happening at once. So let's have a quick look here. You can see the initial fight happening on the Yone. A TP comes in from the west, and we've also got the Converge from coming down. They pick up 1 kill on the Zeri, they pick up 2nd kill on the Nami, and then they pick up 3rd kill up top on, I believe it was the Jarvan. So very well played, reasonably coordinated. Normally fights that are kind of split like that aren't really great, but they definitely played it well. They collapsed on who they needed to at the right time. And off that, they grabbed the 3rd Dragon of the game, which was from the soul point at 19 minutes, and they grabbed the 2nd Herald of the game, and the 2nd Herald for them as well. This is putting their gold advantage at 8k now.
Looks like Alliance picking up a cheeky kill onto Yone here. Yone dropping ultis onto the Nami. Nami responds with Ignite, and it looks like the shutdown goes over to Nami now, unfortunately. Wukong looking to bully Jarvan out of his jungle. Looks like Renata did in fact stop the Jarvan EQ before. I didn't think that was possible, but it looks like that her champion can do that. So Jarvan going down to the Wukong as well. Looks like Alliance is kind of bleeding golden resources all over the map here. QUT is capitalizing on it very, very effectively.
Yeah, so Wukong's got that Herald sitting in his pocket, which I'm sure they'll look to make a play with again after the next fight or something like that. What I want to point out, and I found this very interesting, 1 and 2 Yone with a shutdown, it's just that CS advantage is just insane in the mid lane. Sitting at nearly 60 CS advantage and with a single kill that put him at a shutdown. Very unfortunate that Nami picked it up. Alliance not going to be too happy with that. I'm sure they wanted the gold elsewhere. But honestly, all champions on their map pretty behind at this point. Jax is quite a bit behind with Jarvan, who's 1 and 5, and Zeri falling behind as I expected in this matchup as well.
Absolutely, and we see Cogmore over a full item ahead of the Zeri. He just has so much damage at this point in the game, and he's only going to get worse. You know, like, I think the only real chance that Alliance have at a winning team fight this game is if Zoe's able to land a cheeky bubble onto the Cogmore in the back line. But that's only assuming that there's no one in proximity that he can kill with the Renata revive mechanic. But it looks like Yone is committing onto these 2 champions here. It looks like side laning is just not in the cards for him. And another kill goes over to Alliance now. So it looks like they're going to trade the Baron for it.
Yeah, so, I mean, QT was able to identify the fact that they had Yone in the bot. 2 people collapsed on him, including the jungler, which means even though we've got a couple of members from Alliance here, they don't have their jungler, and so Wukong's just going to pick that one up. So, reasonably well played on the map by QT. I'm sure they didn't want to drop the kill, but it still works out in their favor.
It is a bit of a big blunder from the side of Alliance there, having their jungle show on the bot side of the map. You can't really do that at this point in the game, and that is exactly why QT was able to pick up the Baron so easily there.
Yeah, and I imagine what Chirp's initial plan was there. He did have the TP, or I believe he had the TP up. He has it up now. I imagine he would have had it up whilst he was bot lane. My expectation was that QT wasn't expecting the Jarvan, as you don't really expect him in the bot lane at that point. And so he was probably either expecting someone else, or he was expecting to just push out the wave TP up to the Baron. He unfortunately did trade his life for it. But, I mean, they still got the Baron, so I'm sure they're happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see QUT just taking control of Alliance's bot jungle here, you know, just establishing dominance, making sure that they don't walk in to collect any camps or collect any resources whatsoever. They want to starve them out as much as possible. At this point in the game, they drop the Herald mid lane, looking for the mid lane inhibitor, looks like they're going to go for. And they really can with the Baron buff here.
Yeah, Baron buff. Herald still out play. And this game's just not looking great so far.
Cogmore dropping damage onto the back line. Yone missing the ulti onto Jarvan. Looks like Jarvan hard engages onto their back line. This kill is just being dropped left, right, and center. Looks like Gwen picks up a kill onto Zeri and Jax, and Yone picks up a kill on the Jarvan. Looks like Nami died in there somewhere. Don't know who killed her, but she did die. And it looks like the game's going to go to QUT here. It was short and sweet, but they played it really, really well. And they just played the macro better than Alliance this game.
Most definitely. I mean, I'd like to say this game was probably over from draft. That being said, they played the game as a whole really well. Look,
you'd probably be right.
Alliance let too many prior picks come through. They gave through the Wukong, they gave through the Cogmore. I mean, they even gave through the Gwen, which, I mean, and then they picked the Jax into the Gwen, I believe. Unless I'm wrong there, I may have been wrong on that one. But just as a whole, pretty rough draft for Alliance. But that game, unfortunately, yeah, went completely over to QUT, and that's what we expected. We will transition over to a intermission for you guys, and we'll be back shortly with a little bit of a summary and an analysis on what we believe is going to happen next game.
You sure do like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening. It's so fun and games until it doesn't. Toss me out, I'll hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller you fade out. Hop up in the window. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, watch me levitate. Try to paint me like a no-name, so sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same. Boo-hoo, poor you, please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies, you wanted my demise, now you're watching me rise. Up in the window, smaller and smaller you fade out. Up in the window. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, watch me levitate.
Watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, levitate. Watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate.
Watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, watch me levitate. You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. And when I fall too deep, we be living off it to save anything. A superhero in this.
All right, guys, welcome back after that absolute, I don't want to say it, but stomp of a first game. Unfortunately, that was, it is indeed what it was. Yeah, look, QUT, they were 1 and 2. They had some tough games, but I fully expected them to really show up coming into this tournament, and I guess maybe we'll see it from today. So with that win, puts them at 2-2. Win next week will put them at 3-2, and depending on how the rest of the group goes, they could end up in a tiebreaker.
Well, I have to say, this is definitely the outcome I wanted from this game. You know, I was kind of rooting for QUT coming into the game, even though, sorry, Alliance, you are good friends and all, but I want to see more games in this tournament. So if it puts QUT in a position where they may be playing another game and then maybe having to play a tiebreaker, then it's just more exciting for everybody. And you know, I'm happy with the outcome tonight. QUT played it really, really well. Their macro was just better. Their draft was better. Their matchups. I don't think they had a losing lane that game. You know, each of the lanes, their champions were just like more equipped to deal with the other champions than vice versa, and it was just really well played. It was very clean throughout most of the game. You know, bar maybe the Yone pick in the mid lane. It was a bit of a rough matchup for that guy, but other than that, you know, every lane was doing really well.
Yeah, and I'd say, look, despite that matchup being a little bit tough, he did drop a couple of kills. He kept the CS up, he kept his presence up around the map. He was bought when he needed to be bought. Jarvan, you know, kind of went down to try and pick up that kill, and pretty much off that Baron play is what really just solidified QT that win. Look, they were more than likely going to win it anyway at that point, but, you know, off the Baron they ended. And so, still very well played coming out from QT there. Moving into the next game we have coming up, which is going to be quite an interesting one. We have MCOM versus Valkyrie Ragnarok. Now, we spoke briefly about this one as we started the stream up. Obviously, MCOM being favorites of ours in general, from the players, from the gameplay, from the org. They're great people. Valkyrie also really, really great org, though. So, again, really hard to pick a favorite here, but I've got to root for MCOM. I've got to root for Jacko in the mid lane. Hopefully he pulls out some really spicy stuff tonight. I do know he's more than likely sitting in the stream chat right now, watching this while they're getting ready for their game. So know this, Jacko. We're hoping to see something really interesting here. I hate to put you on the spot like that.
More. Could not agree more. And know that if you do anything really, really dumb, it's going to be clipped immediately, and you will not be forgetting about it anytime soon. So I hope that's in some incentive to play well in this coming game.
Now, I do want to bring up a highlight of what happened in one of the other weeks. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't have a clip of it, unfortunately, but I do have a little bit of insight that he kind of ran it down at the enemy team, flashed over the wall into their jungle, and his team was telling him, don't chase. So let's see if he makes any goofy plays like that today. Definitely very welcome, though. Very fun to watch. And I'm sure he's a little bit unhappy with us right now, but it is what it is. All right, definitely looking forward to that game. As we said, third up today, we have Vespertine versus Weekend Warriors. That game's a really tough one. We'll touch on that a little bit more later. But we just wanted to bring up some highlights of the last game and overall just kind of congratulate QUT for their amazing performance. And we wanted to talk about particularly MCOM coming into this next game, who all eyes are going to be on. Anything else you wanted to add to that, Fuzz?
Jacko, we're watching. And we're gonna, look. All right, I have money on you to win this game, so you know, just don't let me down. That's all I'm saying. That's all I have to say.
All right, I cannot wait to see what happens in that game. We are gonna.
We don't condone gambling, by the way.
No, he definitely doesn't have actual money on that game.
No, of course not. Of course not. No.
We are going to jump to that intermission, though. There may be a little bit of a short delay coming up, just because that first game went so fast. But regardless, we'll be back with you, and hopefully we'll get the game started within the next 10 minutes.
See you then.
See you guys then.
And I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway. But I keep on falling. keep on falling. But I keep on falling. We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling.
Thought you'd call, but you didn't, so I'm sitting here. Thought I heard my phone ring, but it disappeared. Guess I'm just losing my mind again. I tell myself to breathe in, but the darkness unexceeded, and it's mine has got me thinking. Sick and tired of feeling, so sick and tired of dreaming. 'Cause I always wake up sick and tired of believing that this pain will ever end. Oh, I've had enough. Cause it always comes back again, and I'm not even gonna pretend that it's okay. Constantly putting bad thoughts on replay. I really don't like living life this way, but I know that these things will never change. Tell myself to breathe in, but the darkness unexceeded, and its mind has got me thinking. So sick and tired of dreaming, 'cause I always wake up
You don't know what goes on behind these eyes. You don't know the loneliness hidden inside. You don't know I wanna eat you up alive. Come and get to know me, my type of wild. I'm the kind that spins you and hangs you dry. Well, I'm already on to another side. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Your love. Cause it's true, no, everything they say about me, I'll suck you, no, my center of gravity. Cause it's true, no, everything they say about me, I'll love you like a supernova, burned into you like a shooting star. Always craving for you to come to me, though this way of life, no, it ain't healthy, but ain't no other way, it's just what I need. I want all your soul, I want your body. I'm the type that licks her plate clean. Don't wanna let out, wanna you can eat. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Your love. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Your love. Cause it's true, no, everything they say about me, I'll suck you, no, my center of gravity. Cause it's true, no, everything they say about me, I'll love you like a supernova, burn into you like a shooting star. If you give me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. I don't wanna see you. I don't wanna hear you tonight. I don't wanna fight you. You don't wanna know if I feel alright. I don't wanna just forgive you, I just wanna be fine. I'll be waiting for a sign to light up, yeah. And your heart is out of sight. I just wanna feel mine. Hey you, I'm gonna be the one for another one. Hey you, maybe then you'll know that I was never one. I don't wanna see you, I don't wanna fear you tonight. You don't wanna know me, you just wanna make sure you're right. I'm gonna be the one for another one. Maybe then you'll know that I was never one. I'm gonna be the one for another one. I don't wanna feel you tonight. Got me.
Okay, hello guys. So we are still waiting for the lobby to be fully created here. I just thought we'd update you guys as we were supposed to jump into Champ Select here. So hopefully it shouldn't take too much longer. But going into this, I believe, and I'll just let everyone know about this. I believe there has been a last minute change in the team for MCOM. And that's why we're having just a little bit of an issue here. So we'll see if we can get that sorted for you guys shortly. And I believe we're just waiting on one, so fingers crossed this doesn't take too much longer for you guys. Couple of things I wanted to touch on and players to look out for, so we can see them rolling in here. As we've mentioned Jacko quite a few times. B-Jagger also from the side of MCOM in the top lane. Very, very solid player. Some might say solid as a rock in the top lane. Let's see what he can pull out today. I know he's got quite a few decent picks, and I'm excited to see what he does up against, I believe, if the lobby is looking correct at the moment, up against Blockhead Inc. from the side of Valkyrie. Now, I know you haven't seen...
Funny you bring up B-Jagger, man. That guy... oh my god, he is one of the best players on MCOM. I'll say that. I'll say that right now. That guy, he outshines everybody on MCOM. He is the star player of MCOM, and I'm really excited to see him and what he's going to pull out this game. You know, I'm hoping for a carry top laner of some sort. I want him to take over the game. I want him to play Riven and go like 30 kills, man.
I have seen, I believe, potential maybe Aurelia might come out. I don't know how he plays that in the team environment, but I do believe I've had a look at his OPGG, had a look at some of his stats. Really, I think maybe one of his more frequently played champions. So it'd be interesting if we see that come out. That being said, Blockhead Inc. on the side of Valkyrie. Not that rank means absolutely everything, but they are both master players. So we may see a very good matchup in the top lane. Back to B-Jagger though. Some might even say a better player than Jacko. I just want to put that out there. We spoke about Jacko a lot here. You know, sometimes you've got to be a little bit quiet about the dark horse, and I think B-Jag is going to show up this game.
B-Jagger's been silently grinding in the background while Jacko's been in the limelight. You know, people say Jacko master tier across all roles. Jagger says, you know what? I would smack that guy around in the top lane. No consequence. Absolutely zero competition. Listen, watch out for B-Jagger this game. You keep an eye on him because he's gonna do some crazy stuff this game.
All right, it does look like, I believe...
Oh, and go Vespertine as well, obviously.
I believe we're looking close to getting into the game, so I'm going to really quickly jump over to intermission. We'll be back very shortly, just going to get this one sorted for you guys. Okay, and we are back, guys. Hopefully just a couple of seconds out from getting into Champ Select, but I thought we'd transition a little bit early and just let you guys know about what's happened yet again. Unfortunately, a no-show on the side of MCOM again. So they happened to make a second last-minute sub, which will result in them losing one ban just to keep everything all nice and fair for both teams. That being said, we are in the game now. So again, -1 ban from the side of MCOM, but otherwise, the game will continue as normally. Alright, and here we go. I guess they're going to run the clock out maybe while they plan on team comp just a little bit, while they lose this ban here.
Absolutely. Now, like I said before, I really want to see some hard carry top lanes coming out of D-Dagger, so I'm expecting like a Ribbon first pick, maybe an Aurelia, or just something that can really run away with the game here.
Yeah, like we spoke about B-Jagger, of course, we spoke about Jacko. Maybe we should transition over to the side of Valkyrie a little bit. Maybe look at some of these bans here. Now, Gwen, we saw was a bit of a powerhouse in the last game. I'm not surprised to see that one get banned. What I don't want to mention it, man. I'm not going to mention it until it shows up. I'm not going to mention it.
I know exactly what you're talking. That's enough. That's literally worse enough. Like, it's gonna get picked now. Like you've willed it into existence.
Well, it hasn't been banned. The question is, will it be picked? And there we go. I'm not surprised by that pick. 100% pick ban ratio still coming through. I'm not surprised by that at all.
I hate this meta. I hate this meta.
Lilia coming out from the side of Valkyrie. Now, we mentioned this again last game as well, as it was one of the bans that came through. Quite a decent champ. She does do a little bit of burn, obviously, and helps against some of the tanky champions. Tahm Kench, a very interesting one. I can only imagine probably in the support role. But one of my favorite champs to see, actually. The potential playmaking with a Tahm Kench on your team is something that I'm definitely excited to see what Valkyrie can do with. Now, I didn't think that Yuumi was going to be locked in there. I like the hover, I do, but I don't think so.
Another Renata Glass tonight.
And so far from the side of MCOM, this is actually the exact same team comp we saw coming out from the side of QT in the last game. The Amumu, a little bit of an interesting one due to the fact that, you know, Amumu traditionally a jungler, and they've already picked the Wukong and the Kog'Maw. This is shaping up to be the exact same comp we saw last game.
I am surprised Kog'Maw got through the ban stage.
Got through the ban stage, and it got through the pick stage. I mean, Valkyrie didn't want it. So there we go.
Yeah, wow. And it looks like, oh wow, you know what? If Garen is picked here in the top lane, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, okay. There we go.
So Senna. So that tells me that the Tahm Kench might actually be in the top lane. I personally prefer to see him in the support role. I think the playmaking potential with a Tahm Kench support, the way you can kind of save your ADC, makes perfect sense. Maybe against a Kog'Maw, not so great due to the fact that Kog'Maw's just going to shred the Tahm anyway. So I guess maybe this is better for the side of Valkyrie over here. And
you may be right.
Senna, something I think we talked about this one last week, and you said you haven't seen too much of it. Spoke about how strong it can be. What's your take on that at the moment? Have you seen it in any of your games? Do you have maybe a different take on it since last week?
Well, you know, considering it's been a week since the last tournament, I have played more games and I have played with more Sennas, and I have to say, she feels the exact same as she did before this patch. I really don't see any difference. You know, she seems pretty fine. You know, I don't see the big hubbub about her being like a strong pick. If I'm honest with you, I've both had it on my team and versed it, and it's been pretty fine either way.
Yeah. Look, she did get hotfixed during this patch. She's also getting nerfed yet again next patch. So she'll definitely be at that state hopefully soon anyway, where she's just kind of a normal champ again, unless they really just nerf her into the ground. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think she'll still be quite strong. She scales. The games go for a little bit longer these days, and it just kind of works in her favor. Looking at a couple of the bans, so we see Fiora ban coming out. Very interesting one, actually. You play top lane quite a bit. What are you expecting MCOM to want to pick here after taking a Fiora ban?
You know, Fiora ban to me, kind of like, you know, screams tank. Probably like maybe I see Ornn is open here, and they have gone for, you know, maybe a little bit more of a late game cognizant team fight comp. You know, yeah, I see the Ornn, 100%. Yeah, so I assume they're going to be just playing towards bot lane, playing towards the ADC, and just trying to feed everyone up with those Ornn items, and just make everyone as strong as humanly possible.
Yeah, and look, we spoke about BJag, we talked about how solid he is in the top lane. It would be nice to see him play more of a carry style or aggressive style champion, but also, if you've got a solid player, you cannot go wrong putting him on a champ like Ornn, where he's just going to win the lane and help your team in the team fights, as well as the Ornn item. It's just an all-round perfect pick for that. Now, we see Victor coming out for Jacko. I think that's a pick we've seen him on again in this tournament. Maybe not one of his flashier picks, but definitely quite a strong champion, and something that I know he knows how to play quite well.
I see what you did there, Jazz. Flashier picks, you know, with the flash play he made by the blue buff when he picked Victor Locke.
We'll see how that one turns out. Okay, and that's a very interesting pick, actually.
Xin Zhao.
So, we have Lilia top with Tahm Kench support. Okay, so again, I did reiterate earlier, or I'll reiterate again that I mentioned earlier that I do prefer Tahm Kench in the support role. It is definitely my preferred role for him to be played. That means that it's Senna ADC. Actually, you know what this might be, and I'm calling it now. I think Senna's going to have the support item. I could be wrong in saying this. We'll see how it goes, but I have a feeling that's their plan here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like it's going to be a fasting Senna bot lane versus the Cogmore Renata lane. And you know what? With Tahm Kench's hard engage capabilities, it could actually prove to be a bit of a hard time for Cogmore. It just kind of depends on whether or not he's able to make it out of that laning phase, I think, this game. But, you know, they do have a late game scaling team comp, and, you know, if Cogmore fails, Victor may be able to pick up his pieces. We'll just have to wait and see, because, you know, Xin Zhao is obviously going to get outscaled by pretty much everyone on MCOM's team, bar maybe the Wukong, who would probably be a similar strength. But yeah, it just looks like it's going to be a really long game by both the look of both these team comps. That's all I can think about.
Yeah, so a lot of things to look out for. It'd be interesting to see what they do in that bot lane, if that's going to be a fasting center, which I imagine based off the picks that it will be. Orianna's a champion I do really enjoy watching in some of these high reload games, but also I know Jacko is very experienced on the Orianna, so whether or not he's going to be able to kind of compete with that one. The most interesting pick, I think, outside of the center and the Tahm, which I think is not really that confusing in comparison to the Lilia top lane. I've seen it a couple times in solo queue for whatever reason. Not something that I really, you know, kind of think is a great pick. I think it's more of like a, you know, a for fun, like I'm going to play a different champ kind of pick. But yeah, here we are with the Lilia in the top lane versus the Ornn, which maybe could work in her favor, but I'm not too sure.
I think it's a really good pick into Ornn, to be honest. With the amount of percent health, the percent health damage that she's going to be stacking this game. I think that Ornn's going to have a really hard time laning into her. But that being said, I don't know if Lilia would be able to push a lead onto Ornn. I just think it'll be very annoying for him during the laning phase.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that matchup goes when we jump into the game, which will be very shortly here. We're going to jump into a intermission for you guys, and we'll be back very soon.
Have you ever played with a queen? I can show you what I mean. I can make you feel free. I got Have you ever played with a queen? Not till you met me. So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to game 2 of the night. MCOM versus Valkyrie Ragnarok. Let's see what we can kind of see with these two teams. Again, a couple of matchups would be very interesting to point out. The bot lane, we can confirm Fasting Center. She's got the support item, which was reasonably expected. Outside of that, Lilia top lane, which we spoke about. Interesting on the side of Ornn. I have seen this a couple of times, but I do quite like where they just grab only the potion and they leave it to build their items in lane when they get a little bit more gold.
Now, Jazz, I just have to cut you off really quick. It's impossible to ignore the absolute mid gap that is happening right now with Jacko landing 2 E's on Orianna before the game has even started.
Yeah,
It's
look,
just
that
insane.
can be a bit of an issue. That being said, I think he's lost more mana than Orianna's lost health, so I don't know how worth that is for him. But
It's all
we'll
about
see
the
how that
mental
goes.
game, Draz, and you know what? He's winning it.
He's definitely winning the mental game when it comes to that, without a doubt. And he's hit his third one of the game already. That being said, he's lost over a third of his mana.
They call him Deadeye Jacko because he never misses.
I haven't heard that one before, but maybe that's the new name.
Not because he's a raging alcoholic, just because he never misses.
I can
Also,
see
hasn't missed the CS yet. Oh my, okay. You know what? I'm before I focus too hard on the mid lane, I'm going to bring the attention back to P Jagger in the top lane. You know, hasn't lost a single bit of HP yet versus the Lilia top lane. Truly the superstar of MCOM, like I was talking about before. This game, I'm just so excited, Draz. I'm so excited to see this all unfold.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, look, the mid lane matchup is the one that the game wants to focus on here because there's a lot of skirmishing going on. This bot lane is the one that I'm most interested in, though, and I'm actually surprised that I'd say how well they're kind of matching despite the Cog kind of early game power with his range and his poke. When he hits level 2, though, that may change. But you know what? The side of Valkyrie over here, ZKW and Kais getting to level 2 first. And now they're just kind of holding the wave there where they want it.
Absolutely. We see a slow push building in the mid lane towards Jacko, with him just kind of having to take the punishment here. He can't really do anything about the wave with the amount of mana that he used before the game even started. Why would he use those E's earlier, Draz? Like, it was just absolutely idiotic. Now, it looks like lots of damage coming down onto the center in the bot lane. She's going to have to pop one of those potions. You know, one of the good things about starting support item is she has 2 health potions. Less sustain, you could argue, but still. You know, the potions are definitely nice.
Yeah, for sure. And so, if we look around at the scoreboard here, we can see CS advantages coming out from most places on the side of Valkyrie at the moment. Of course, the Lilia kind of being able to kind of push in a little bit more aggressively against the Ornn. I will stop here, actually.
So lots of damage coming down onto Sen in the bot lane. Sen pops Ghost to try and get away from the Cogmore damage, but you know, he has actually found vision of the Senna and she dies to Renata's Ignite. Zin's out here to clean up kills onto Cogmore, and Renata looks like a double kill going over to the side of Valkyrie with 1 kill and first blood. Oh no, 2 kills and first blood going over to MCOM here.
Yeah, so
Cogmore passive.
Cogmore passive
Crazy.
picks up that kill. That allows him to buy his Greaves, which is, you know, generic first back for the Cogmore there. Kind of plays into everything, gives him some more advantage on his W, attack speed, kind of everything he really wants. So I'd say he's sitting quite comfortably after that. The only downside being that Xin Zhao did pick up both of those kills, so they're going to need to be very worried about that Xin Zhao at the moment.
Yeah, you know, like the way Xin Zhao works is that if he gets an early lead, then he's useful. So this is basically all he needed for this game. It's really, really big for on the side of Valkyrie here. But as I say, that Orianna in the mid lane has popped Flash to get away from the jungle mid duo on the side of MCOM. Looks like Wukong is going to use the Flash to secure the kill onto Orianna. Looks like Renata Glass goes down to Xin Zhao as well. They were just there for sorry, Valkyrie's bot lane just responded a little bit earlier for that 3v3.
Now, Xin Zhao 3-0 at 5 minutes into the game. We just mentioned if he gets a lead early, he can be quite scary. He's gotten that lead. Being said, you know, Wukong picked up 1 kill. We know how strong Wukong can be. Probably, I mean, look, I'd love to get the stats on. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to track stats. But I'd imagine probably the highest win rate champ at this tournament so far. So, I'd say the Xin Zhao's got the advantage, of course. But it'd be interesting to see how they play that one out. Bot lane...
Back on the topic of B-Jagger.
Yes, definitely.
I want to ask you a question. Have you seen this guy play anything but Ornn?
Personally, I don't think so. I think he played it last time as well, so I'm not too surprised. We did talk about how solid he can be. Ornn is just one of those solid picks all around. He works in just about every team comp, especially in kind of competitive play like this here, where, you know, you have a team environment, everyone's kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
I would like to see something else come out, though, potentially in the future.
Yeah, I would, but you know what? The fact of the matter is that B-Jagger is like an absolute just top lane PvP Chad, and he knows what he can get away with, and I think he's picking Ornn because he needs a champion that doesn't do too much damage, so he can actually give the enemy team a fighting chance.
Now, look, that could be the case. I do want to just quickly point out here, Wukong grabbing the dragon for the side of MCOM, so there'll be a nice little advantage for them to claw back a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we actually see what dragon that is? Or
I don't think we can.
Is the camera just not going to let us know? It looks like, well, B-Jagger in the top lane getting another trade down onto the Lilia. Lilia popping all of her spells and missing half of them. It's an air
no.
dragon. Oh no! Okay, looks like Oriana picks up a kill onto Wukong, and the dragon goes over to the side of Valkyrie.
Definitely not what they had intended there. Hydrate got really low on that Wukong. We weren't able to see it, but the second it panned over, he had about maybe 100 health left. Definitely, I don't think what he had intended. Those early game air drakes can be quite scary, to be completely honest.
I hate soloing air drake early game. That is it is just the absolute worst. So I feel for Wukong here. It looks like even master players suffer when it comes to the Riot's balance changes, and you know, making air drake just do more damage than every other dragon in the game.
Now Valkyrie looking. We're looking for a 3-man dive on the bot lane. I think they're just going to back up. Kog'Maw, reasonably tanky. He has his passive. Renata has the revive. They pick up a kill. Maybe just not a dive that they want to really take the risk of. I'm sure Zinzal's sitting on a lot of gold at the moment.
It's like Tahm Kench gets the engage onto the Kog'Maw here. Kog'Maw taking a big chunk of damage, but he is able to walk away with his life. He still has heal up, so if they commit again for the all-in, I think he will be okay. Lots of damage coming down onto Senna. Now, Senna needs to be careful. She doesn't have flash in this exchange, but she does still have ghost, so we'll just have to see how this bot lane turns out, but there's just lots of damage coming down from either side here. Tahm Kench, one of those champions that you can just really force those early fights. Yeah,
and something to point out as well, Kai'Sa on the Tahm Kench has Ignite at the moment, so this could be...
Big damage down onto Senna. Looks like Kog'Maw picks up the kill onto Senna. Renata empowering Kog'Maw's auto attacks here, and he just picks up another kill. Easy peasy, just like that. Kog'Maw has 3 kills, and the game is looking a lot scarier for Valkyrie.
Yeah, they had the advantage in the early, to an extent. They picked up the dragon. I'll stop.
I'm going to have to cut you off here again. Looks like Xin Zhao's in the bot lane, looking for the kill onto Kog'Maw. I think they're able to just execute. Yeah. Xin Zhao doesn't quite have flash up to secure these kills. That's really, really sad.
Wow. The double execute coming out. And Wukong with the ulti onto Oriana.
Oh my god! Jacko with another flash play, missing the E! Spectacularly, he gets the kill onto Oriana. That's our superstar mid laner that we were talking about before. Crazy, crazy plays coming out from the side of MCOM here. Looks like Lilia lands the E onto Jacko. Jacko doesn't have flash to get away. Dropping the gravity field onto the 2 players from Valkyrie. Looks like it just wasn't enough, and Jacko does go down. Oh wow! Okay, Xin Zhao actually did land that W onto Wukong as well. This is a really, really scary overstay from
Very back and forth game. I expect this to be a very controlled game, and it's anything but that at the moment. But it makes for some fun gameplay to watch here. Hydrate potentially taking another camp a little bit too low, but he's okay there. No threat for him. Xin Zhao looking like he's trying to invade the top side, but there's nothing up for him there either, so maybe he'll just grab some vision. Actually, wolves just spawned, so he might take those. Okay.
I see Kog'Maw with a 300 gold bounty and 2 deaths. You know, I find it like funny the way League of Legends works sometimes that can be allowed. And now, obviously it was an execute, so that is probably the explanation for it. But you know, it's a really interesting sight if you're just looking at the scoreboard with context, you know, like removed.
No, I would say one thing that's, I guess would play into that, and I've never really considered until you mentioned it, is the fact that after Kog'Maw dies, I could be wrong in saying this, but does his passive come after or before his death? Because it would count as 3 deaths without 3 kills without a death, if that were the case. So something I'm not
It
sure.
comes after.
It comes after the death?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's 2 kills he picked up, then he got the execute. I guess it makes sense when you look at the side of Valkyrie's bot lane being O2 and O2. And
Jacko taking a ton of damage from Valkyrie and just getting absolutely cleaned up. It looks like he was going to ward and it was just at the wrong time. Looks like Suncoach looking for the engage onto Kog'Maw here. He gobbles him up with his ulti and he does die in the end.
Yeah, so the bot side of Valkyrie just maybe a little bit too tanky for the...
And Kog'Maw going down as well. Oh my god, wait, did I call Renata Kog'Maw? Crazy.
Yeah, so both fell down
A
there.
little bit too much sauce tonight. Okay.
That's okay. So, Shutdown goes over to... I believe it was Senna that picked up that kill, but I could be wrong. Yes, it was. So Senna picked up the bounty there, 200 gold bounty. I do want to point out both players from the side of Valkyrie quite tanky, making it really hard for MCOM to kind of get that revive off of Renata. They're not able to pick up the kill in time, and you know the shield, you know the grey health does help them out, but it wasn't enough to get them through.
Now, I would like to point out something here. We see B-Jagger going for this play here. It looks like a play that can't really fail, but, you know, one thing to keep in mind is every single player on MCOM has a death right now, except for B-Jagger. Why do you think that is, Draz?
It's just a solid top laner, you know. Played on, he's playing, you know, reasonably safe. He knows his limits. And this might be scary.
Zunzao looking for the gank on the bot lane. Looks like Sunkench was just unable to get that knock up, and looks like they were able to walk back to the tower with little consequence, and Kog'Maw actually picks up a kill onto Senna. Wow.
That's the Kog'Maw in Season 12. You know, like I said, Nerf coming out next patch, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That champion isn't, so... that being said, I think Zinzao's looking to pick up his second dragon of the game. MCOM not really responding just yet. They might rotate up. No, looks like they're just going to maybe push for some plates here instead. And so that's now a Cloud Dragon and an Infernal Dragon for the side of Valkyrie.
We see Wukong trading the dragon for Zinzao's top side. However, it looks like Kog'Maw had to pop flash to get away from the Zinzao Orianna roam here. He's getting a lot of damage down onto these players, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Okay, it's looking very, very dicey here for MCOM, and yeah, looks like Kog'Maw does in fact go down. Shutdown going over to Valkyrie's mid laner.
And I didn't actually see the explosion there. Did it not go through? I'm sure it would have. Maybe just a little bit of a visual bug on the replay. On the, sorry, spectator there. And yeah, Valkyrie getting a lot out of this bot play. They grabbed the dragon, they came down, they got 2 kills. They got the flash.
Hard engagement onto Jacko on the tower. Looks like Jacko picks up the shutdown onto Zinzao. Wukong just looking to kill the Herald there. Wow, this is it's a bit of a bloodbath this game. There's been 20 kills in 13 minutes. It's not something you would really expect for a Challenger 2 game.
No, and you know what we can say is that of those 20 kills, not a single one has been on B-Jagger.
That is correct. That is correct. It looks like Wukong looking for the kill onto Sen. He just does not have enough damage with the... Oh, well, actually, there was no exhaust that was actually used. I swear I heard the exhaust sound. Okay, it looks like Renata ends up going over to the Tahm Kench as well. You know, Valkyrie is slowly picking up gold here and there.
Yeah, I'd say, despite the fact that they're 2 dragons up and you know they're 4 kills up and they've looked quite dominant here, it's really not that kind of lost for MCOM. Jacko down bot, he did pick up the shutdown on the Zinzao there, so there's an extra 300 gold on top of the kill in his pocket. The Wukong sitting at 1 and 2, not the greatest position to be at, but again, it is Wukong. I think the biggest threat, honestly, is going to be the Orianna in team fights, especially with the the Tahm Kench to kind of help peel people off. You know, maybe pull the Orianna out when she maybe gets caught out of position just a little bit. I think the team comp minus maybe the Lilia from the side of Valkyrie, when they're ahead like this, it really works in their favor.
Yeah, the Orianna is just really like a zoning tool in a lot of these team fights, and it really helps when your zoning tool is able to half health people. So the gold going on to Orianna here is definitely no bad thing on the side of Valkyrie. However, I'm wondering how that's going to work moving into the fights later on, with Kog'Maw kind of needing to be that champion that can walk up into a decent range to actually get any decent amount of damage off. Obviously, he's a champion with no dashes, and he's sure as hell not going to build a Gale Force, so he's going to have to be really, really careful about that Orianna Shockwave.
Yeah, now he will eventually pick up, I can only imagine, the shield bow. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. He is a reasonably tanky ADC in comparison to some of the others. Again though, Orianna ahead is quite scary. And a lot of damage
coming down onto the center.
Alright, so everything so far looking reasonably normal. Lanes are just kind of pushing out here. We don't have any major objectives coming up too soon, I don't believe. But I can imagine MCOM is going to look to contest this next dragon. Giving Valkyrie soul point this early in the game will be a bit of a problem for them, I would say. They are a reasonably late game comp for MCOM here, and they're not going to want to give away the early game that hard.
Yeah, it looks like Lilia able to proxy farm the poor Ornn in the top lane that's just kind of being let down by his team here. He's thinking to himself, God, I'm the only person who hasn't died this game. I just... What can I do? What can I do to win? My teammates keep holding me back. I can only assume that's what he's saying.
And
it's like Sleep coming down onto Jack on the mid lane. Looks like he tries to use Flash to get away, but he ends up flashing into the Xin Zhao W behind the wall, and they just pick him up really, really easy. Like, Jacko's been kind of bullied this game, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, Thunderbolt playing on the Orianna here, actually doing a reasonably good job. The roams have been coming out slightly earlier than, I believe, than Jacko's roams. It's been giving, him that advantage, and I mean, that does make sense. Orianna pushes out the wave quite fast. So does Victor, but, Orianna obviously just getting that prior right now. Making more of an impact around the map, and you can see that in her score, 5-2-0. And, yeah, I think that's just, for the most part, how the rest of the game... Well, not the rest of the game, but how the game's going to go for a little while now. Valkyrie's going to look to push that advantage they've got, because they can't let the champs come online for the side of MCOM.
I'd just like to point out that B-Jagger has, by definition, won his lane. He has taken his enemy laner's tower, and he is just going to continue to silently scale for the rest of this game, just waiting for his opportunity to carry. And you know what? I think MCOM just needs to give this guy a raise after this game. He's playing a bit too well.
A lot of B-Jagger fans out there, so I'm sure they'll love to see that. MCOM going to look to maybe contest this one, like we said.
See, third dragon of the game. Looks like it's going to be going over to Valkyrie. See Valkyrie's TP landing above them. Jacko picked up in the Orianna Shockwave. Looks like lots of damage coming down onto Lilia from the Wukong here. Jacko picks up a kill onto Lilia. Looks like Orianna just trying to get away. Wukong picks up another kill onto Orianna. 1,000 gold going over to Wukong. Xin Zhao trying his hardest to kill one person. It looks like he didn't quite get there. Looks like another kill going over to Wukong. Time Coach was able to pick up a kill onto the Kog'Maw, but it looks like it was just kind of inconsequential in winning this team. Never mind. It looks like Senna's just able to pick up the rest of the kills.
Yeah, and she's gonna flash forward and keep
flashing
going
forward and almost dying, but Time Coach is just a little bit broken with his munch his enemy with his munch an ally ability, and yeah, it looks like Valkyrie ends up with the ace, albeit not clean, but it was an ace nonetheless.
Yeah, not clean at all. I mean, they did give over quite a big shutdown. They've now got shutdown sitting on the bot lane as well after that play. Look, Valkyrie's playing this game quite well, besides being a little bit sloppy. They're getting the lead that they need with that team comp. That being said, and I know both teams have quite a scaling comp, but that being said, I feel like if this game goes on for too much longer, then MCOM does have a chance. They need to stop bleeding gold like they are around the map. They need the Ornn items to come online. They need the Ornn to join a couple more team fights and impact them with his ulti. Kog'Maw's going to become an absolute monster. As we know, Victor becomes quite strong as well. Their team is set up for that late game. And if they can get there without bleeding too much on the map, then
It looks like
does
Renata
that.
being another cog in the plan of bleeding gold to Valkyrie. Not sure how much they paid her this game, but you know she's netted about 8 kills worth of gold over to Valkyrie so far.
And that is the unfortunate truth there. Valkyrie, like I said, just playing the kind of the comp the way they need to. It's just a question of whether they're doing it well enough.
So Jacko is unable to be hit by this Lilia's abilities. I hope they turned his scripts on before this game because, you know... Well, actually, you know what? He probably hasn't with the 5 deaths there, now that I think about it.
Oh, that's okay. Very interesting game nonetheless. I'm not going to lie to you, I expected the game to be a lot closer even in the early game. But it looks like we said, Valkyrie's just really played to their strengths. The Cog mod did pick up quite a few kills, but the bot lane not really able to compete with the fasting center, it looks like, and the roam's also coming out from Valkyrie. We've seen the Orianna in the bot lane quite a bit, we've seen the Wukong in the bot lane quite a bit. I can only imagine that they're going to continue just to look for picks, find those kills while they've got the advantage, and MCOM's just going to probably try to look to disengage as many of them as they can right now.
Yeah, you know, just like, all these champions are just a little bit too tanky for MCOM to deal with. They get quite close in the team fights to maybe killing them, but like, you know, they're just a little bit too tanky, and I think I can attribute a lot of that to the durability patch, but it's also just, you know, plain and simple, they're more ahead than MCOM this game.
Yeah, I mean, just about everyone from the side of... Well, I don't want to say everyone, but, you know, quite a few people building some durability items too on the side of Valkyrie. For the Lilia, you've got the Rift Maker, which is going to help her with the healing. She's going into some tankier items now. From the Xin Zhao, you've got the Death Dance, you've got the Tabbies, Plated Steel Caps, I should call them. You know, mid lane, getting some health. You know, the only one that really doesn't have any kind of durability whatsoever, I guess, would be the Senna. But she's got that range, she's got that sustain. So it's not too big of a deal for her either. So they are definitely quite tanky champions. It's proving quite hard for them to deal with. B-Jagger with the engage here.
The big ult coming down from B-Jagger. He doesn't quite get the knock-up. It looks like Orianna Shockwave was able to cancel it in time. However, it looks like she's not really going to get out of this one. She does have Flash, but I would be really surprised if she turned it around on 4 people here. She is living for a really long time, though.
Yeah, and a bit of a miscalculation from... oh, wait, we've got cool. Valkyrie in the base of MCOM here. Jacko trying to defend on his own. I did not see this one on the map.
What was happening there, Draz? Looks like Jacko just trying his best to hold off the Horde in the mid lane, but, you know... Valkyrie picks up an in-hit without much...
And a very good ult coming up from Renata. That might win them the fight. Shut down onto the Wukong.
And, yeah, it looks like MCOM is just really kind of getting shafted this fight until they turn it around.
Yeah,
wow.
Okay, so quite a few shutdowns going out for the side of MCOM. Dragon spawning in about 10 seconds.
That's a bit hard to follow.
There was a lot happening there. Very interesting fight. I think that's the kind of fight that MCOM really needed. It was very back and forth, but they picked up quite a lot. They're going to ignore this Dragon and go for the Baron, which is completely understandable, but that, on the other hand, it is going to be Soul for the side of Valkyrie if they decide to go for that. And it looks like Orianna is indeed looking to do exactly that. 3-man sleep coming down from the Lilia.
It looks like another kill going over to MCOM if Lilia decides to burn, but she doesn't. It doesn't look like she felt like it today. Senna trying to steal the Baron. I don't think anyone told her that it doesn't do damage to creeps anymore. And MCOM gets away with the Baron here.
Yeah, and that's also going to be Soul over for Valkyrie though, so I'm not too sure how worth that trade is. Just because in my opinion, MCOM's the kind of, like we said, the team that wants to scale. Giving over the Dragon to Valkyrie is really going to give them that kind of strength to maybe win a couple more fights right now. Unless MCOM can really do something with this Baron. If they can make a Baron power play, then maybe that was a worth it trade. But in my opinion, at the rate that the game's been going, it's a very back and forth game, and I don't think the Baron's going to be enough.
I think MCOM are really just trying to look to take some pressure off of the mid lane with the inhib going down. So, you know, if that's the purpose of the Baron, then I think that it'll be working, you know, properly. They are 5 mid right now. Looks like if they can force an engage, it would be in their best interest to do so, with 3 of Valkyrie's teammates being on the bot side of the map. However, it looks like they're looking to split up here, take a couple of camps from Valkyrie's top side, and see if they can get top wave pushing in.
Yeah, so we've got Lobster on the Cogmore here. He has back to clear the bot wave. Xin Zhao is back as well, so it's just Tahm Kench in the bot. I doubt he's going to look to chase that, which he's not now.
Flip up going over to Victor here, and it looks like they're just kind of farming up and trying to reach their spikes as fast as
Now,
possible with
Hydrate
Valkyrie closing the gap.
does look to be caught out here with the 4-man coming through.
It looks like he's trying to ult to escape, but I don't see him getting out of this one. The kill goes over to Xin Zhao, and Hydrate is dead.
Now, I do want to apologize to everyone for my coughing here. I unfortunately got COVID about 3 weeks ago, and the cough is just not gone. So sorry for everyone's eardrums on that. But we will just continue as normal here, and hopefully that decides to piss off. So there we go, Valkyrie just, grabbing more camps. Like I said, that Dragon's kind of, in my opinion, a little bit better for them. MCOM really only picked up the 1 tower. I don't know if that was worth it with the Baron. Valkyrie grabbed the bot tower, Valkyrie now grabbing the top tower. I'd say overall, Valkyrie won that exchange, and
B-Jagger moving in, getting the knock-up onto the Tahm Kench, but Tonka was able to eat Senna in time. She's largely unaffected. Eat Orianna in time. She's largely unaffected. They're going to try to turn the fight now onto Xin Zhao here, but they just can't land the CC that they need. Unfortunately, Xin Zhao re-engages onto Jacko here. Jacko has to pop the Zhonya's. Lots of damage coming down onto Jacko here. He ends up dying. Renata's dead as well. Just absolute carnage coming out from the side of Valkyrie, and they pick up 3 kills really, really easily.
I believe it was actually four kills for them, yeah.
4 kills. Oh, with
kills.
the Cogmore. I apologize.
Yes,
his little death timer didn't come up.
The only one left for the side of MCOM is Hydrate. Is this going to be the first game we see a Wukong loss? I could be wrong in saying that. Maybe we've had one before, but I do know he's been an extremely dominant champ. Probably has had a loss before. I'm more than making a mistake in there, but very interesting to see that this Xin Zhao kind of just stepping on Wukong's toes.
Like you said Wukong, and a couple of shivers went down my spine. So if you could refrain from doing that again in the future, I'd be very appreciated.
Look, I'll try my absolute hardest. We did fully expect this coming in when we're analyzing what we expected the drafts to be for today. You can check that tweet out. You can check that tweet out on our Twitter. A very interesting one.
Oh my lord, that was a great meme. That was a great meme. Whoever made that meme? Who was it?
It was actually me.
Oh, it was you! Oh my god.
Yeah.
You encapsulated every single emotion that I was trying to squeeze out of my mouth at the time, but like, god, it's been hell, Looks like a Valkyrie trying to get some priority around the bottom side of the map, possibly looking for the Elder Dragon when it spawns. But it looks like Hydra getting a bit of damage down onto Tahm Kench and disengages just as quickly.
Now, something I want to point out, which I think is really surprising to me, Valkyrie is only up 5k gold, and that's going to increase there to 5.5k.
Renata with her
6K.
10th death of the game. Really, really unfortunate for MCOM here. As we said before, their usual support, I believe it was support,
Yep.
was unable to attend.
Yeah, so he was unable to attend today. They grabbed another sub, and that sub happened to be AFK, so they had to make another last-minute change. So this is their 3rd pick support, I guess you could call it. So, understandable that maybe he doesn't have the synergy that MCOM would want with the team.
MCOM just really, really unlucky with the supports today.
Yeah, and we did see something similar happen last week as well, so possibly a little change that they might have to look to make internally there. But nonetheless, it looks like it might be their downfall this game, unfortunately.
But Valkyrie picked up the mid inhib, and they're just kind of playing with them at this point. Just keeping the control of the bot side of the map, really making sure that they can't contest them when Elder Dragon spawns. Possibly looking for the 3rd inhib, but they don't really have a wave, and I don't see it being their top priority at the moment. I see Lilia landing her abilities onto Renata. I think they're going to look for the all-in, see if they can get one final fight, and then just look to end the game.
Definitely seems to be their goal. They've got waves pushing into the Nexus towers there. Orianna kind of pushing out that wave, and MCOM not really having much of a choice but to try and defend this bot tower. They are going to have to fall back for this wave. Valkyrie going to go grab the Elder Dragon, I can only imagine. And it's not
Elder Dragon is now spawning.
Not looking good for the side of MCOM.
They're doing the Elder Dragon on spawn. Now, Wukong does have the capability to steal this, but it looks like Tom Kent's going to keep him off of it for as long as he can. Yeah, Wukong goes down. Xin Zhao still has Smite up. It's looking like the Elder Dragon's going to go.
And the Lilia 3-man sleep
Lilia,
coming
big
through.
Stun. Renata uses her ulti as a means to try and get around that, but you know what? It's carnage in the back line. Lilia takes out almost 3 members of actually does take out 3 members of MCOM, and it looks like Jacko's the last man standing against the Elder Dragon buffed team. And he did okay. He took down Lilia, but ultimately it was not enough. And it looks like the game is going to go over to Valkyrie here.
Yeah, very unfortunate from the side of MCOM. Definitely not what they wanted. Well, look, we did give them a lot of credit coming into this. We expected their full team or their full roster to be on the board, of course. But no, Valkyrie really showing up to this game, and that puts them at a 3-1 at the moment. You know, given they win their next game, which I'll have to double check on who that is up against. Give me 2 moments. Actually, I hate to say it, but I can't find that out right now. But overall, look, despite all of that, depending on who they're up against, they could look to 4-1 and potentially make their guaranteed spot into sorry, mind blink here. Potentially get themselves a guaranteed spot into the semifinals.
And you know what? No matter how MCOM performed tonight, I still stand by what I said before, that B Jagger is one to watch out for. And trust me, next game you see him, he's going to be even better at Ornn than he was this game. He's like essentially an Ornn one trick at this point, but I tell you, he's got some tricks up his sleeve, and you'll be really happy to see it.
Most definitely. Now, do give me 1 moment, because I do just want to see who MCOM is up against next week and who Valkyrie is up against next week. I unfortunately think that for MCOM, it's going to be up against Weekend Warriors, who are currently sitting 3-0. Now, I'm going to just double check that one. Weekend Warriors... Yeah, so Weekend Warriors versus MCOM. Very tough game for MCOM. For them to potentially get themselves a tiebreaker, I think they're going to have to win that one. So it'll be a very interesting game to watch out for next week. Unfortunately, that won't be streamed, as we'll be jumping back to Group 1. But we will, of course, let everyone know how that one goes. Valkyrie, on the other hand, up against QUT. Now, QUT came out with a stellar performance tonight. With that in mind, it's going to be a very interesting matchup for them as well. If they drop that game to QUT, and if Weekend Warriors manages to drop the game to MCOM, I think we might potentially see a tiebreaker come out. Actually, possibly even a 3-way tiebreaker, so that'll be very interesting to see. But without a doubt, we'll let you guys know as that happens. All right, so moving into the... Yep, sorry, go ahead.
Any closing thoughts on the game, Dres?
Yeah, I was about to say, very unfortunate. I'm sure MCOM's going to look to sort out their bot lane, or their support, sorry, and I'm sure they'll come back stronger than ever next week. It's just a matter of whether they can beat Weekend Warriors. Besides that, I think we're going to transition, because we are just very slightly behind schedule here, so we're going to quickly transition to our intermission, get the 3rd game underway, which will be Weekend Warriors versus our very own in-house Valkyrie, sorry, I keep making that mistake. Vespertine Vertigo. The V's are just in my head. It's killing me. I apologize for that one, guys. And Valkyrie on my mind after that game as well, and the stellar performance they put out. But we will be back with you guys very, very shortly.
me go, there's no doubt. Gotta get out of this small town. You took my heart from me, now you're everywhere I see. Set me free, let me fly, let me find new kinds of highs. We're just wasting here, waiting for another year. We both know the score, we've been here once before. So many words unspoken, you took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait, I can take the pain. I will surrender, let me go on a new adventure. It's my time, watch me build another life. Find another space, explore the world and find my place. Hope you find some peace of mind. Hope the night was worth your time. Threw my heart away, we won't see another day. We both know the score, we've been here once before. So many words unspoken, you took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait, I can take the pain. I will surrender, let me go. It's a new adventure. On a new adventure. You find me dancing on my own, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Don't call me up when you're feeling blue. You find me dancing on my own, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Let me go. It's a new adventure. On a new adventure. You sure do like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening. It's so fun and games until it doesn't toss me out. I'll hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller you fade though. Hop up in the window. Yeah. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, watch me levitate. Try to paint me like a no-name, so sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same. Boo-hoo, poor you, please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies, you wanted my demise, now you're watching me rise, rise, rise. Up in the window, smaller and smaller you fade out. Up in the window, yeah. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. In the window. In the window.
Okay, hello guys. As mentioned earlier, we are running ever so slightly behind schedule tonight, so the game will be starting shortly. Teams are using Pro Draft tonight for this third match, so pick ban will be a little bit scuffed, but we hope that you'll bear with us as we kind of analyze the picks a little bit more in depth, and don't have to worry about the pick order in that case. So we do have Vespertine Vertigo up against Weekend Warriors, as we mentioned. Now, I think this could be a problem for Vespertine. This is a very hard match, and even if they win this, I still don't know if they have a chance here. They win this, they win next week, they could end up in a tiebreaker, but every single star is going to have to align for that. Now, they are looking to get into Pro Draft right now. I will be opening up the spectator for myself so we can make sure that everything goes nice and smoothly. But, you know, going into this, we've seen Weekend Warriors just perform to an amazing level. They haven't dropped a single game yet. What are you looking out for here, and what are you hoping that Vespertine can do to kind of maybe make a bit of an upset?
You know, that's a really hard question because as far as Weekend Warriors go, it feels like they don't have a weak link in the team that Vespertine will be able to abuse. I would have to say that Vespertine has like a strong bot lane, and if they can play towards the bot lane and get Tempest ahead, because you know, we've seen him perform on picks like Aphelios and Jinx in the past. I think that they could have a chance at carrying the game through bot lane. However, I think it's going to be really, really hard, and I think we need to manage our expectations moving forward into this game. I think, for me personally, I would have to say Weekend Warriors would be the favorite moving into it.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's less about who the favorite is, because I think just about everyone knows it's probably Weekend Warriors at this point. More about what can Vespertine do to maybe make an upset. Now, we've mentioned before, we love an upset. We love a dark horse. We love, some interesting gameplay. You did mention the bot lane. Now, obviously, the bot lane coming out from the side of Weekend Warriors, also quite a strong bot lane without a doubt. But you would be correct in saying the side of Vespertine does have quite a decent bot lane. I have personally been in a call with them while they're playing together. They have great synergy. They communicate really well. They're always on the same page. I definitely think the bot lane would be the win con for the side of Vespertine. And I will say a little bit of a leak before we get into Champ Select, but I've seen a Cogmore ban come out from the side of Weekend Warriors, and that's huge because I know Vespertine's been enjoying that champion.
It is true. It is true. I think I've seen our Vespertine boys really abusing that champion as of late. I think something along the lines of if I can't get master on this champion, it's not worth playing League anymore. You know, phrases like that have been thrown around, but I don't know. I can't actually remember who it was who said it, but someone did say it. And moving into this game, I really hope that they, if they can get their hands on Cogmore, it could be a real upset for Weekend Warriors. I think
that would be the case. As I mentioned, though, it was a little bit of a leak because I am looking at the pro draft. The Cogmore's been banned out.
Right,
yeah,
of course.
not great for the side of Vespertine. Definitely wanting to play that champion. But I do know he has a couple more pocket picks, so it'll be interesting to see what he does pull out. I won't leak too much more from this Champ Select because I want everyone to see it themselves when it comes out. I did just have to mention that being a detrimental thing there. And I will mention one more champion for a leak. Wukong.
No.
Now, there is a Wukong on my screen. We expected it. That's 100% pick ban in the last 4 weeks on stream. I'd love to know what it was off stream, but unfortunately I don't have the full stats for that. But I know he's definitely been played at the very least. That champion is just... We keep talking about it, and I'm sorry if you're sick of hearing it, but we're sick of seeing it.
It's a parasite. That champion's a parasite, man.
Without a doubt. So we should be getting in there quite shortly. They're doing their first pick phase, finishing that one up, looking to get into the second fan phase, and then we'll of course stream the normal draft for you guys, which you'll see the order being a little bit funny, but we'll still see the champions. Okay, so I know you maybe haven't seen too much come out from Eid. What are you expecting for him in ADC?
I mean, Eid. All I know about Eid is that he's like really annoying to be in Discord with, so I can't really give you anything else.
Shots fired at Eid. No, he's a good guy.
I like Eid. I like Eid a lot. I like Eid a lot. It's banter. It's just banter. But like, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from him. I would have expected Cogmore if not for the pro draft information leak. But to be honest, I don't even know what he plays. So
I can name a few
besides
champions.
Cogmore.
I know Aphelios has been one recently. I know Lucian was something that he liked to play quite a bit. They're both quite aggressive in a sense. So it'll be interesting to see what route he takes with that. And obviously, it's also going to depend on the matchup, what his support wants to play. Now, the thing I will say about support, which is Redemption from the side of Vespertine, he has a champ Ocean, I believe. I think I've seen him play a different champ just about every game. Now, I could be completely wrong. Maybe he's just coincidentally shown me like the 4 champs he knows how to play, and that's it. But we can see realistically anything come out from that bot lane there. And then also Weekend Warriors. I don't know so much about their champ pool, but I can only imagine it's an absolute ocean. What we will do, I think, Fuzz, is we'll quickly jip back into a second intermission here, just because I don't want to keep talking about things that are a bit pointless when we're going to be jumping into the Champ Select anyway. But I did just want to update everyone. I know we're running 12 minutes behind schedule for the game to start, so we do apologize about that, but we'll see you guys very soon.
Ooh.
said you're meant to burn as bright as a star among the midnight sky. All the pressure blinded me, but now I see I'm no different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling. We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd
Okay, and we are back into Champ Select here. Like I mentioned, pro draft, so we'll probably see the picks and bans firing off quite quickly. But I have managed to see what they are going for here, and actually they're holding it just a little bit, so that does give us time to have a little bit of a chat still. All
So
right.
You told me that you don't want me to look at the DMs. You don't want me to know what's on the pro draft on the table here. Why is that? Why is that? Do you think is there a champion that's gonna rattle my cage, or what do you think?
Look, not maybe not particularly. I do want to quickly hone in on this 6th ban. So it's a Wukong ban, so we don't have to see that champion
Yes!
today. It's a ban. I said I've seen him on my screen. I did not say he had been picked. So that's a little bit of a surprise there.
Thank the gods, man. Oh, Olaf pick.
Olaf
Okay.
into Ornn. So we do know that that's going to be the top laners as it's a pro draft, so they're just picking in pick order now.
Have you had to verse on Olaf yet this patch?
I think I did once. Actually, you know what? I think I played Olaf once, and I'm not gonna lie, I ran it down. So I'm not too familiar with.
You blacked out. You woke up and you were 0-13.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Let's blame the vodka, but you know, maybe I'm just shit.
Yeah, well. See, Olaf, Zach, Vigar. Wow.
Yeah, so I did mention very interesting draft from what I could see. A little bit unorthodox when it comes to kind of team and I guess competitive play. Now, of course, we know that the pick and the ban. So we have the Veigar picked. We have the Azir banned. That's obviously because pick order is a little bit different. But yeah.
Interesting to see the Azir ban after Vigar.
Yeah, so the Azir pick would have been something that I think Vespertine would have wanted to grab. I've seen Ice play it a fair amount. And it's a strong pick that they probably wouldn't have wanted to deal with there. Last couple of bans coming out. Shen ban makes perfect sense for safety, and that'll make sense once they pick the bot lane, which will be coming up very soon.
Well, we see Senna for... Oh, wow. Okay, that's shaping up to be a very strong team on the side of Weekend Warriors.
And then a little bit more of a defensive bot lane coming out from Vespertine with the Ezreal. And the complementary champ to Ezreal, which is... Take your guesses before it pops up.
Yuumi?
No, not quite.
No? What is it? It's,
When it gets there, they're waiting a little bit.
Why are they milking this? Why?
There we go.
Karma. Oh, okay, yeah.
So
fair enough.
the Ezreal Karma in the bot lane, I'm sure that that's the whole reason behind that Shen ban that we would have seen. So just preventing that Ezreal from being any safer.
Ooh, the Galio Senna bot lane.
Yeah. So I am wondering if this is going to be another fasting center. I don't
would
know,
say so.
but it may be. Yeah.
Now, you know what drives? Just for people watching who don't know anything about Pro Draft, and myself, which I don't really know anything about Pro Draft either. Can you tell me some like actual benefits to using Pro Draft as opposed to, running it in a traditional way?
Yeah, so pretty much the only benefit is that you have access to every champion. So for players who don't have every champion, which are on the side of Vespertine, I think it's either Tempest or Cletus. Don't hold me to it, but I believe one of them doesn't own every champion, which means that of course if they went into this game without doing a pro draft, they wouldn't have been able to pick the way they picked. They wouldn't have been able to counter properly. It would have left them kind of a bit stuck, especially if it is Cletus. Their first pick would have had to have been restricted to probably a top laner. That's pretty much the only benefit, the fact that they can, pick ban whoever they want without any champion restrictions. It does, of course, set us back a little bit on stream, but yeah, that's the reason that people use pro draft.
Yeah, interesting, yeah. Because realistically, I had zero idea what was happening when, we were say, oh, we're waiting for the pro draft to finish up. So, that's a bit an informative assessment of the situation.
Yeah. So
now, I've not seen fasting Senna with a Galio before, but I imagine it would work with any kind of tanky champion that does well with extra gold in the bot lane. So I can see it working this game.
what we're gonna do is we'll jump into our intermission here. It'll be interesting to see how that does work because I haven't seen it with a Galio either. But we'll jump into that intermission. We'll be back shortly and we'll be in game with you guys and hopefully we have a very interesting third game. I wonder if Vespertine can claw this one back or if Weekend Warriors are looking to solidify their position at a 4-0, which I believe will guarantee them a spot in the semifinals. So we'll see you guys shortly.
VSP win in the
Hashtag
chat,
VSP
boys.
win in the chat. Let's go. Fingers crossed for our boys. But also good luck to Weekend Warriors here.
You don't know what goes on behind these eyes. You don't know the loneliness hidden inside. You don't know I wanna eat you up alive. Come and get to know me, my type of wild. I'm the kind that spins you and hangs you dry. Well, I'm already on to another side. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Maybe I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black gold for your love. Suck you, na na na, to my center of gravity. Cause it's true, na na na, everything they say about me. I'll love you like a supernova, burned into you like a shooting star. Always craving for you to come to me. Though this way of life, no, it ain't healthy. But ain't no other way, it's just what I need. I want all your soul, I want your body. I'm the type that licks her plate clean. Don't wanna let out, wanna you can eat. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black gold for your love. For your love. supernova. Burn into you like a shooting star. If you give me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. I don't wanna see you. I don't wanna hear you tonight. I don't wanna fight you. You don't wanna know if I feel alright. I don't wanna just forgive you. I just wanna be fine. I'll be waiting for a sign to light up. Yeah. And your heart is out of sight. I just wanna feel mine.
Okay, and welcome to game 3 of the night. After some short delays, we're finally into the game, and I'm sure they'll make it a spicy one for us, so it'll definitely be worth the wait. Now, a couple of lanes I want to point out and focus on. We spoke about the bot lane already. Mid lane, on the other hand, Jay Sinatra won, I believe, probably one of the better, if not best players at this tournament. Going up against Ice on the side of Vespertine. Definitely a matchup that I want to look out for here. We know Veigar can be quite an annoying champion, but if you've got the experience on LeBlanc, you can really just take it away. So it'll be interesting to see how Ice can kind of hold off this LeBlanc here in the mid lane, which is, again, a pick that I'm looking out for.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I love Zac as a champion. I think he's really, really good in coordinated play. And I think I'm like really excited to see how he's going to work in this game. You know, like mid lane for Zac is usually the place where you want to be ganking the most, but it's really, really hard to gank a LeBlanc. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And we see Olaf looking for a little bit of an early trade here onto Ornn. Doesn't look like he gets it. Yeah, you know, I'd call it even. Call it an even trade.
Yeah, look reasonably even. They do, so there's a ward sitting in that bush. Weekend Warriors knows exactly where Zac has started. That being said, there is also a ward on the Raptor Pit for the side of Vespertine, so they'll be able to see that very shortly. That the side of Weekend Warriors with the... Sorry, I'm completely forgetting the champion's name over here.
Viego?
That's the one. Thank you, Fuzz.
That's the one.
Absolute mind blank. I played the champion too. You'd think I would remember. Yeah, so Viego starting on the bot side. They haven't seen him on the Raptors just yet. They can probably make a pretty safe assumption as to where he started. Now, Fasting Senna. We expected it. We're seeing it. With a Galio. Not something you usually see. A lot of magic damage, honestly, though, on the side of Vespertine, so it does make a reasonable amount of sense. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this versus maybe like picking the Palm Kench or something else?
Well, I mean, like I said before, like any like tanky champion with a hard engage that does well with a little bit of gold under his belt, I think is going to work well with Fasting Senna. You could do the same thing with let's say like Maokai or you know, Malphite even. I wouldn't do it with like Ornn. He kind of needs the XP for him to be an effective champion as we move into like the later stages of the game. However, Galio is one of those champions I think that can really benefit from having someone there to do a little bit more damage to help him secure some more gold, and that's exactly what Senna does. And I think that just like Galio facilitates Senna really well to carry the game as we move forward. So yeah, I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, so it's... Look, I have a little bit of a personal vendetta against this champion, but I really hate Galio support. We'll jump back to a ranked game a few years ago where a good friend of mine decided to run it down on a Galio support. So I hate seeing that champion picked. But like in the reality of things, you know, he, like you said, he is a tanky champion. You know, kind of works in that sense. And also, while we were talking there, we did see Viego pick up a kill. I got a bit confused because of the Olaf portrait, actually. But yeah, first kill, first blood going over to Nox on that Viego.
Yeah, definitely what you'd like to see as a Viego player. You know, like Viego, I feel like it feels like a champion that you can't do much on when you're behind. You know, like you're really looking for those resets in team fights to be any semblance of useful. And just having more damage definitely helps you with that. So I think Viego getting a kill at the start of the game is really big news for the side of Weekend Warriors. Now we see Senna landing her CC onto Ezreal on the bot lane there, but it doesn't look like it's going to amount to anything. Zach preparing for the gank. Looks like he gets almost onto the Senna there. I'm not sure what happened, if he just stopped short or if
Potentially out of range even?
Yeah, it looks like Senna goes down, the kill goes over to Tempest in the bot lane. It looks like Galio gets CC'd, but they're not really focusing on him right now. They're trying to kill the Viego in the back line on the Ezreal. Ezreal goes down to Viego. Galio picks up a kill onto Karma, and it looks like it's going to be 3 kills going over to Weekend Warriors. Big start to Viego this game. He is gonna do a lot of good things with that money, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. We mentioned the fact that he's not a very good champ when he is behind. What about when he's ahead? He's an amazing champion. So
This is true. Looks like a cheeky mid lane solo kill for the Veigar here. Jason Ultra 1 looks like he made a mistake in the mid lane, Wing into the side of that Veigar cage. Is, definitely not an optimal move.
yeah, and then just to add insult to injury, he flashed away and got followed by an auto attack. Now Cletus making a flash play.
The solo lanes for Vespertine are actually getting some solo kills. This is okay. We make predictions, Draz, and the opposite happens. You know what? We should probably go into it saying, okay, Vespertine is gonna lose really hard because then if that's the case, they'll probably stomp. Because I came into this game thinking bot lane was gonna be, the star of the show, and you know what? Both their solo lanes decided to get a kill.
Yeah, look, they do call it, and I mean, it's widely known as the caster's curse. I guess it's real. I mean, you sit there and you watch MSI, you sit there and you watch Worlds, and you go, caster's curse, yeah, whatever, better team won. Maybe it's real. Maybe it really is. Instead of missing a couple of auto attacks there, but...
See, Cletus Deletus in the chat. That's whoever made that joke is this absolute villain.
Resident Memer. Another gate coming out from Tempest, but it doesn't look like it's going to amount to too much.
It looks like Senna doesn't really have anywhere to go, but she lands her CC onto Zac, and it looks like she's just going to walk away. And we see Zac possibly gearing up for the gank mid lane, and he comes in and staunches the kill on LeBlanc. It looks like 2 kills on Zac now. It would have been good for Viego to get the kill, but I think, LeBlanc had a pretty good chance of escaping there if Zac didn't do that.
Yeah, look, they'll be happy with the kill nonetheless. Gold equalizing a little bit after the little bit of a fumble they had early game. Of course, the Viego still being extremely strong. And
Fight going on the bot side here. Looks like Veigar. Looks like he finally goes down to Senna. Now there's a fight in the top lane as well. Looks like Cletus picks up a kill onto the Ornn there without too much trouble. Olaf is just a lot better in the 1v1s than Ornn is. But wow, looks like Vespertine's mid laner did not expect to be killed as fast as he did there.
yeah, he kind of got caught at a weak point in the collapse. You see Senna tweaking out just a little bit. I'd like to know what she is on. But something to point out as well. I mean, you look at the top lane here. We know obviously that Olaf took up 2 kills. He's actually more than double the Ornn CS at the moment as well. So lane definitely going really well for him. Probably the matchup he wanted, and definitely seems to be working in his favor.
So we see Weekend getting a nice freeze in the bot lane here. As best freeze as you can hope for with a Galio whose passive is going to auto shove the wave. But it's the best they could do. I think as far as Olaf goes in the top lane, Ornn, pretty much every single one of his abilities has a degree of CC to it. And with a champion that can't be CC'd, I would imagine that one would do not so great.
Now,
Olaf.
I want to point out, just from the side of Vespertine, they're going to need to hope that this gank works, and it's not. So the in-lane gank, we've got Tempest backing up. That was a lot of wasted time for Zac there. He has just about every single one of his camps up, and he's wasted probably about a good 40 seconds in that lane. So, you know, you can see the level 6 advantage coming out from Weekend Warriors bot side. Prodigy and Lord Though in the bot lane hitting that level 6 spike. Vespertine a little bit further back. Potentially Zach soaking a little bit of that XP, maybe also to blame in that kind of scenario there.
Diego, like, almost four camps ahead of Zach at this point. Actually, is 4 camps ahead of Zach at this point. He needs to make sure he's staying on top of his farm, otherwise he's going to get rolled by Diego the later the game goes.
I will say Cletus playing this matchup relatively well. He's doing what he needs to do. He's got the advantage in all fronts at the moment. It'd be interesting to see if he can transition that into the rest of the team, where they're losing out just a little bit.
Now, Drez, I'd like to point out here that another dragon has actually been taken.
It has been. I'm not gonna lie. We really need to get the the dragon notifications working, because that's a little bit of an issue there. So yeah, the dragon being taken for the side of Weekend Warriors. Now, my guess, I didn't see the situation, but my guess here would be it was when Vega got caught out, and they would have had some priority there. Could be entirely wrong.
It was. It was. They had priority in the mid lane. They had priority in the bot lane as well, and it was just really easy dragon for Viego to pick up.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, all things considered, the game's not really in.
See Zach engaging onto Viego here. Looks like Viego's in trouble. Galio here for the ulti. Coming in, looks like Tempest taking just an absolute ton of damage. He ends up dying. Looks like Viego gets the kill onto Vigar. He had to use Flash to get there. Vigar cage coming down from Viego. Now he's turned into Zach, and he is launching himself at the enemy team, and he's ult now onto Karma. Wow, it's really fun to watch Viego just turn into 9 different champions and try tell everyone what's happening. What is he doing? Well, he's turned into the guy who just died. So I need to reset all those abilities again. You know, it's really interesting.
Definitely. Really well played from the side of Weekend Warriors. They picked up, oh my god, I think it was 4 kills. It was definitely 3, but I believe 4 kills there. And I don't think they bled a single one, to be honest.
No, I don't think they did, and it looks like they're going to be able to pick up this tower mid lane as well, unless Zach has something to say about it. No, they still pick it up.
Yeah, the tower's still gone.
They're going to get a lot of damage down onto Viego. Viego doesn't have flash to get out here, unless he can turn the fight, which I think he might be able to.
The Viego lifesteal coming in. What a champion.
Holy.
And the double kill. That is absurd. And that, honestly, it's 11 minutes in, but the Viego 7-0. I don't think there's anything that can stop this monster.
Yeah, look, I think I'm just going to be perma-banning a new champion moving forward, because, wow, that was really disgusting to watch.
And the thing is, I mean, no one player on the side of Vespertine is really to blame for this one. You know, everyone's kind of been bleeding gold. You've got 2 deaths in the top lane, 3 in the jungle, 2 in the mid, 4 in the bot. Yeah, it's just kind of happened everywhere, and they just haven't respected the power that comes from a champion like Viego. And as we see, he's sitting at 7-0. They've got the dragon. They're going to probably look for the second dragon. You know, this champion's a powerhouse right now.
Absolutely, and I doubt that Weekend Warriors will be bleeding too much more gold in terms of their solo lanes. You know, with LeBlanc having a bit more CDR, I doubt she's going to be caught out as much in the mid lane, just with the amount of distortions she's going to be able to use to get away. And, you know, Ornn in the top lane, not one to be easily dove. I understand he's playing Olaf, but, you know, Ornn's just going to get tankier no matter what, and it's going to be really hard for pretty much every member of Vespertine to deal with moving forward. So we'll just have to see. It's like the chain lands onto Karma. She takes the CC, and Galley lands his taunt as well. Looks like Karma goes down without any trouble, and another kill goes over to Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, so not ending up on the Viego this time, which is probably better for them anyway. He's sitting at 7-0. I'm sure he's quite comfortable. And yeah, this game is just oh god, it's a disaster for Vespertine right now. Second dragon going to be picked up from the side of Weekend Warriors, like you said. Ezreal ulti almost snipes that one there, but not quite. And Senna's going to be quite happy with the souls she'll pick up off the dragon too.
So let me see Ornn in the top lane, just scaling up, just trying to get that XP, you know, for his level 14, where he can finally help out his team with the Ornn items. And he actually picks up a solo kill onto Cletus while I'm saying this. Yeah, cast is curse.
One thing I want to point out actually is I didn't notice this one from loading screen. Actually, no. Okay, so that's what it was. The spellbook play coming out from the Ornn there, exhaust onto Cletus, which I think probably guaranteed him that kill. Otherwise, you know, it could have been anyone's game at that point. Gromp gets stolen away from Tempest.
A lot of damage coming down onto Eid here in the bot lane. Has to back off of that wave. LeBlanc starting to scale up and get a bit more damage. He's opted for the Luden's Echo instead of an Everfrost this game, which I think is probably the right choice. You know, she's not really going to be able. She's not really got any Everfrost targets, I would say, and Luden's just sounds like, you know, a better option.
Yeah, I mean, look, besides the fact that the team from the side of Vespertine's reasonably tanky, they've got the advantage, so they can go for that Luden. They can go for that little bit of a greedier item. And I think, look, it's going to work out in their favor. I'll be, and I hate to say it, but I'll be genuinely shocked if Vespertine really pulls this one back with a 7-0 Viego.
Yeah, it's looking very dire, and you know, Weekend Warriors with their track record, I doubt that they're going to let go of this lead very easily. So Vespertine really needs to make a crazy play happen, or Weekend Warriors needs to make a serious mistake, which I haven't seen them do too much yet.
Yeah, look, normally I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, in a situation like this, I like to look at it from Vespertine's point of view. I like to ask myself, you know, what can they do to win? Very nice sidestep by Redemption there, but he's still
Big
going
ult
to
from
fall.
Viego onto the car man. Looks like he. Oh wow, he gets out. Wow.
No, he doesn't.
Okay,
The
never
kill
mind.
picked up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 700 gold shutdown onto Veigar. Can they do something with that? I think not, but we will have to wait and see.
You know, like, Veigar may get more money, but I think it's just that the comp is going to be an issue for him. I don't think that Veigar's going to have too many opportunities to, well, like that one just there to get too many kills moving forward. You know, it looks like it was like more of a greed play from Viego, and I doubt that would be happening again.
Most definitely. I'm sure he's not going to want to make that mistake again. Sorry about that. The top lane, the CS advantage has kind of slowly fallen off, sitting only 35 now. The kill advantage is equalized, assists on Ornn. I'd say top sitting pretty evenly. Again, like I was saying, normally I'm usually just able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, kind of maybe identify what the losing team's win con might be, and how they can kind of bring it back. I don't think I can this game. They don't necessarily scale incredibly well in comparison to the enemy team. You know, Viego late game is insane. You've got the Ornn items, you've got the center who instantly scales. You do have the Veigar, but honestly, despite his damage going through the roof, it's like you said, team comp-wise, he's going to fall off. He's not going to be able to do as much as you know, a coordinated team can with these scaling champions. With these champions like the LeBlanc, able to kind of get on the back line and just one-shot. Probably the Veigar, maybe one of the squishy champs on the team. But, you know, all round, I can't really see the win con for Vespertine here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's looking very, very dire for Vespertine here. And just, you know, they're staking their claim all over the map. They've taken every dragon, they've taken Rift Herald, now they're taking top towers. It's just really, really hard. They're not giving Vespertine any breathing room here. Diego looking for the kill onto Olaf. Olaf dropping the ulti. We'll see if he's able to actually get out of here with his life. Yes, it looks like he will. Ezra ult from across the map does chunk Weekend Warriors a little bit. But ultimately, it looks like this fight could go quite badly for Vespertine if they overstep in any way, shape, or form. Ornn ult comes down, knocks up the Zac and the Karma. But it doesn't look like anything's going to come of it.
Yeah, so a lot of fighting back and forth. I think overall, Weekend Warriors will still be pretty happy with that one. They pushed in the waves. I believe they got close to getting the tower, I think. And they're able to just take these camps. They're continuing to just kind of make their lead bigger and bigger. And although they haven't picked up any kills in the last couple of fights, I definitely still think they're quite comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see the third dragon of the game spawning here as well. It's going to be an air drake. I don't think Cloud Soul is particularly useful for either team. I may be wrong in saying that. I can't actually remember what Cloud Soul does for the life of me.
It's the move speed, so...
Yeah, so I was thinking ultimate cooldown, but, you know, that's not a thing anymore. Okay,
No.
It looks like Galio moving in from Taunt. He does get it, but he takes a lot of damage in the process. And it looks like he's able to get out just barely. Lots of damage coming down onto Olaf. Zac is in his passive form. Looks like Olaf and Zach are going to go down. The double kill over to Viego, and the rest of Vespertine running with their tail between their legs. Third Dragon goes over to Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case. I think that was not the not the absolute best outcome for Weekend Warriors, but yet again, they're taking these small wins. I mean, I can say medium-sized, but look, they're not insane. They're not acing the enemy team, but they're taking these wins. They're getting the dragons. They're getting what they want on the map. They're almost 10k gold up, sitting at about 9k gold up right now. Okay, and almost the red buff stolen over for the Ezreal, but not going to happen there.
Yeah, just Weekend Warriors just really kind of... I don't really know how to describe it. They're just winning. They're just winning on every single portion of the map, and we see a little bit of auto cancelling from the center there. Obviously having a bit of fun with this game.
Yeah,
looks
look,
like LeBlanc may be in a spot of bother though, but the TP comes down from Ornn. Looks like LeBlanc has to flash away from the Olaf, but it's just not enough. Shutdown goes over to Olaf, but it looks like Ornn cleans him up.
I'd love to give a little bit more of an in-depth analysis on really what's going on this game, but I'm not sure that I can. Like, it's a very clear kind of knowledge, experience, like a coordination gap coming out from Weekend Warriors. They're undoubtedly a very popular team. They know what they're doing, and they're really just putting that on display. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now they're 7k gold ahead, and they're looking for the Baron here. They're looking to close out the game. They're not trying to mess around. They just want to be as efficient as humanly possible, which I think they've done quite well this game. Yeah, it looks like it goes over to Weekend Warriors, and they're able to walk out with little to no problems.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, this is the way the game's going to go from here on out. I can't imagine it's going to last much longer. They're going to look to close it out. They've grabbed the Baron. There's no major objectives up, so they're probably going to look to just kind of push in waves, grab the towers, and yeah, like I said, maybe look to end it out.
Zach engaging onto the Viego here. Viego taking a bit of damage, but it doesn't look like it's anything he'll be worried about. He's just able to walk it off. We do see the Ornn TP behind. Sorry, not the Ornn TP. The Veigar TP behind. Viego dropping a stun down onto Karma and ulting away. Galio uses ult to get back into the fight. Olaf is TP'd in. It looks like this may be a good team fight for Vespertine if they can get sorted out. Looks like kill goes down for Vespertine here, and Viego's just gonna clean the rest of their team up. Yeah, wow. It's just kills everywhere. There's bodies dropping. It's not.
So I want to point something out that actually just surprised me there. So I believe Viego grabbed the Zac passive, and so that saved him there.
He grabbed the Zac passive.
Yeah, so I could be wrong in saying that.
There's a replay mechanic.
I don't know if it's going to catch it. I actually completely did not press the button. We will wait. It looks like they're going to close us out here, but then we'll have a really quick jump back and see if we can maybe just catch it maybe on the edge of the camera or something. But yeah, it was off screen, but I did see a Zac blob, and the actual Zac himself was indeed dead.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't think that was... okay. Yeah, if that's the case, that's pretty big, but I actually don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, so now we're going to have... Oh, hang on, we'll wait and see here. Okay, so I think Jason Usher's out. We're going to quickly look at that. Transitioning over... Whoopsies. Okay, let's have a look. No, so from what I can see, it was out of frame, unfortunately, on the replay. So yeah, we don't get to see that one there, but I do believe that's what happened. And we'll just transition back now to live. Very unfortunate. Would have been nice to pick that one up, but I only caught it in the corner of my eye. So yeah, very interesting. Not an interaction I've seen before, but I do believe that's what's happened. Saved him from giving away a shutdown, if that's the case, and very well played on his part.
Yeah, we see. There's no other word to describe it. It's just domination coming out from the side of Weekend Warriors here. Big damage onto the Zac there. He has to retreat. Looks like they're looking to set up for the Soul. Getting vision in the bottom side of VSP's jungle.
Yeah, it would make sense. Look, they've had their fun. You know, we've seen the center like kind of meme it up just a little bit. You know, but overall, typically speaking, I don't think they want this game to go on much longer. They probably just want to close it out and be done with it. This will put them at a nice and comfy 4-0, like I said, which means that I think there's very little chance that they have to play any more games for their position. I think they solidify their at the very least tied first after winning this game.
Yeah, Weekend Warriors have just been incredible the last four games, and now this would be their fifth win of the night if they can manage to pull it off.
Fourth win tonight.
It's a fourth win tonight.
Yeah, so fourth win tonight. They will have their fifth game next week. I genuinely think they could no-show and it wouldn't make a difference. But I'm sure they're going to want to win that game and show their dominance. And we see a Dragon Steal from Tempest.
Big steal from VSP Tempest there.
Now he is going to fall. I don't know if that's going to save them the game, but that has delayed the Dragon Soul.
Well, like I said before, Air Dragon Soul, probably not the most useful Drake that Weekend Warriors could hope for. I'm really surprised LeBlanc didn't get stunned there. I swear she was on the edge of that cage. Well, okay, it looks like big damage coming down onto the Olaf there. I don't think he can live it yet. He does end up dying. Kill goes over to Senna. Body's dropping on the side of VSP. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to pull through this one.
Yeah,
looks like
shut
the
down.
last kill coming down, and that's the ace.
Shut down onto Redemption, but it does not mean a single thing, and Weekend Warrior is going to look to close out this game right here. Tempest is up, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. We've got TP coming in from, I believe, from the gallery. Yeah,
and that's another win on the side of Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, indeed. So like I said, that's going to solidify them at a 4-0 right now. I don't think anything matters past this point for them. I am imagining, however, that they'll still show up next week and make this a 5-0. And just solidify their dominance. And I'm sure they're going to go on to win the semifinals, and they're going to look to win the finals as well, or at least that'd be their plan. Very well played. Not a lot to say. Not a lot of in-depth analysis we could have done there, but it was just a kind of a gap across the teams there.
Yeah, I mean, some things to note. Vespertine did pull off two solo kills in each of their respective solo lanes. So, I am proud of them for that. But Weekend Warriors, it's a team that's been around for quite a while, and they've had lots of experience, and they're just full of lots of really experienced players, and it really shows tonight. They really pulled out all the stops, and they did really well versus Vespertine.
All right, now I will let you know we are going to transition over to cams if you are set up for it, just so we can kind of close this one out. So I'll grab that now. Okay, so finishing up on the final game there, like we said, extremely well played by Weekend Warriors. I do see a lot of people asking for honorable mention for Prodigy in the bot lane. We've seen the Fasting Center twice tonight. Very well played all round, and ending 7-1-13, I believe, maybe one of the highest, if not the highest, kill participation in the game. Yeah, so she'd be sitting on par kill participation wise with the Viego. So very well played all round. Particularly for the side of Weekend Warriors, but also great work. I want to just give an honorable mention to Cletus. Really well done in the top lane in the early game. Unfortunately, kind of falling apart for them on the rest of the map, but nonetheless, I'm sure they've got things to work on. I'm sure they'll still be back next week for the experience, and if everything goes well... No, I think that's a potentially elimination for them, but you never know. With that being said, though, I'll get closing thoughts from you for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, my closing thoughts are, I mentioned them before. I am proud of Vespertine, with the solo kills they managed to pull off, and they didn't win too many fights. I don't think they cleanly won any fights in this game, but they did make some decent plays, and I have to give it to them for that. They're a really, really new team, and they've gone up against possibly one of the best amateur teams in OCE, and it's they did well. All things considered, I think they did well.
Definitely.
And yeah,
I'm very proud of the guys tonight. Fingers crossed that they'll keep working at it. I'm sure they will. We'll be there for them. But yet again, I do want to give a huge congratulations to Weekend Warriors for solidifying I believe their place in the semi-finals. We'll confirm that, of course, next week in case some kind of strange upset happens, but I'm pretty sure that's a solidified spot. Will be inviting everyone back again next week, where we have our fifth stream. I will take mention here the next week's stream may be ever so slightly different. Will still happen at the same times. I myself, who broadcast these, will be in another state. So I'm going to give it my best shot. I hope I see you all there. And I'm sure we'll make that the best stream we can for you guys. But thanks everyone for joining us tonight.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Awesome.
A broken glass while I'm thinking in my head. I mind my own, I don't even break a sweat. Oh, this matters is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. Untold stories, they were left behind. Silent breeze, I got nothing on my mind. This matters is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes.
I remember the days, always at the same place, the same people every day. I will never forget this black old Corvette standing in front of my way. We were both in high school. I thought I was a fool. Oh, when I was falling for you. You keep drawing me in, and I know it's a sin. But even so, yeah, I need you. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. Feels so bittersweet, knowing I can leave. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the